Welcome to Dungeon Guild. We are live for our holiday one-shot. I am Kat Holler. I will be your dungeon master tonight. We have Tulkin Craterjaw, our half-orc fighter. We have Kargath, our paladin. We have Ari, our rogue. And Korloth, who's a new character you haven't seen yet, as our sorcerer. So with this, we do have, as always, we have a lot going on here. We are going to be raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. We've got some really great drawings, so you can follow the link that is in the description there, and it will take you over to that donation site to see some great prizes. And with that being said, we've done a brief introduction, and let's go ahead and get on with the show. So, for those of you who have joined us before, of course, we have our 4 adventurers. The last time we left our adventurers, they had all been teleported back into a tavern after they had defeated an evil sorcerer. I believe he was a sorcerer, correct?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
It was, yes. I wasn't there. Korloff wasn't part of that party.
If it wasn't, it is now. That's the story, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah. So, with that, we are going to go ahead and pick up where we left off at Ye Old Tavern. It's evening time, probably around 7 p.m. And you start to hear, the average things you'd expect to hear in a bar. There's a bard playing in the corner. There's some folks playing some cards, some throwing some dice. Where are your characters in the mix of this?
I'm probably in the middle of playing a dice game, actually.
I would be off in the corner studying some documents and papers and have some scrolls laid out in front of me, kind of minding my own business from the rest of the den of the room, and just kind of off in the corner by candlelight reading.
I'm sitting up at the bar, enjoying a drink and really hoping that the 2 angry guys next to me are going to throw fists pretty soon.
I'm just chilling, drinking a glass of mead and complaining on how it does not compare to orcish alcoholic beverages.
Hear, hear.
All right. So you're there. You're enjoying, like you said, enjoying some cards, enjoying some time, writing some documents there in the corner, studying a little bit, enjoying some good mead, some good food, some good entertainment. When unusually the front doors of the tavern just blow open. Faerun isn't known for having unusual weather, but you notice as the doors blow open, a very tall, and by tall I mean 6 foot plus, Amazonian blonde woman wearing this large red fur cloak comes walking through the door. And as she comes through the door, snow has blown in from the door through the door behind her, which is unusual because when you were out earlier in the day, there was no sign that there was any type of cold weather on the way, or that there should be any snow outside. She walks around for a bit,
Okay.
walks over to the bar area, leans over to the barmaid there that's behind the bar. I've been told that I can find someone here named Kargath. Are you familiar with him? The barmaid leans and she points down the bar to Kargath.
Oh no!
As we mentioned, she's a very tall woman, so she kind of stands out a little bit in Faerun. Plus, she walked in the door with snow, so everyone's kind of watching what she's doing now.
I'm just gonna kind of nod and lean over the bar and look down the bar at her.
So she notices you look her way. She walks down the bar to where you're at. I presume you're Kargath.
Maybe. I've been told that in some places.
So I was advised that you may be able to help with a situation that we're experiencing that requires a fair amount of discretion. I was told that you travel with a party of adventurers and that you might be able to help us with the situation that we are having in my realm.
Well, I can't speak for the whole party, but I mean, we can use some, but not everybody does. So you may not be looking for us. I don't know.
Would we be able to possibly parlay with your party with the people that you adventure with and travel with, and maybe I can give you more information?
Would I be able to overhear any of this? I'm just curious if my character would overhear any of this conversation.
You may not necessarily hear the conversation because because there is some discretion required with this mission. You may not be able to hear the conversation, but you can see that her and Kargath are having a conversation.
All right.
I'm mostly just irritated when the door blew open, my papers went everywhere, and I'm attempting to. I don't even care. I'm
gonna look for a inconspicuous portion of the inn with like a booth to sit in, and then like point for the rest of the group to join me over there.
Oh, go right ahead. I'm right behind you.
taking papers and shoving them in my robe, walking over.
So is this all that are in your party?
For the most part, yes.
Okay. So I come from an area not really familiar to these parts. It's far north. It's a little bit colder than it is down here in Faerun. But we have a bit of an issue with a missing person, and the issue is very, very time sensitive and requires a lot of discretion on your part.
Time sensitive.
And it may be dangerous. We're not 100% sure yet, because we're still trying to figure out all of the facts ourselves.
So
is there someone we might be able to chat with slightly less of an audience?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I assume this tavern has a back room where all the spare kegs are held. We could try there.
All right.
That might be a good plot.
Lead the way.
All right. I stand up and I start making my way towards the back room. Is anybody watching us go?
Everyone's kind of watching her because, like they said, the weather was nice and sunny earlier, and they're a little bit confused about how this very tall woman walked in the door with snow. But they're not, I mean, Faerun being what it is, people aren't too bothered by it, but they definitely know that she's not from around here.
All right. Well, I step into the back room and I hold the door for the rest of you.
All right, I'll wander in.
I'll bring up the rear.
All right. Once everybody's inside, I close the door behind me.
I kind of just begrudgingly leave my game, and I'm following you guys. It's like, I was swindling them so well. Why did you make me have to leave?
Oh, trust me. If you decide to join me in with our little situation, there will be plenty of swindling to be had, I promise you. So, now, you may not believe what I'm about to tell you, But this is a very urgent matter. Santa Claus has gone missing from the North Pole.
Santa who?
I pull out a notebook and a
Santa
pen.
Claus, the big fat jolly man who brings all the presents to all the little boys and girls.
Oh, he always missed my house.
Yes, he's
apparently.
real.
I start taking. You see, I pull out parchment and pull out a pen and start taking notes.
About 6 days ago, he disappeared from the workshop in a mood. We have not been able to contact him. And what really keeps the North Pole going is magic. And that is the magic of the children believing in Santa Claus. Without him, if he does not reappear in time to make the deliveries on Christmas Eve and Christmas night, then unfortunately, the North Pole may cease to exist in a very short period of time once that magic is gone. Because what keeps the North Pole running is the magic of the belief of the children.
How would
So
you
if he's
describe
not there to deliver the presents, they stop
She said
believing.
he's big and fat. That's what she said. Were you not paying attention?
Just making sure my details are right.
So why does this require so much discretion?
Well, one, as adults, most adults outside the North Pole don't believe he still exists. Two, if it is brought up that he does truly exist, and people start looking for him, a few things will happen. One, they may learn that Santa Claus isn't always the jolly fellow that the children want him to always be. And too many people looking can cause problems at the pole as well. Because the pole is not always friendly to outsiders.
All right, understood.
Okay, what place is friendly to outsiders?
So you're telling me a fat, jolly man surrounds himself with violence. Interesting.
He has some anger management issues,
Oh, what is this? An
mainly
HR
around
meeting?
timeliness. Because, let's be quite honest, I'm sure you can all tell I'm not an elf. The toy business is, and for the holiday business, is a little more dangerous than what it may seem on the surface.
God's help the children who he doesn't like. Goodness.
It's not so much the children, it's more the workers, the cute, adorable little elven folk that everyone envisions with Christmas. Let's just say they're people too.
Big, fat, jolly man surrounds himself with violence and slave labor. Got it? Slave
Not entirely
labor.
wrong. I mean, he does pay them. He does supply housing for them.
That is
as
a
long
form
as the
of
deadlines
pay.
are met.
That's true. That's true.
So where is he
So
now?
what do you say? Are you up for this task?
I never heard of any payment.
Well, that payment will depend upon if you are successful in finding him or not.
Okay, and then my next question: do we need to find him alive and bring him back
Well,
alive?
we're not sure what state he will be found in. That's part of the problem. He has these times when he's gone off for a day to kind of cool it off, have some eggnog, relax a little bit. He's never been gone this long. So we're not sure if there may possibly be something more nefarious to this disappearance than usual.
So you don't even know if there's foul play or if he's alive.
Get closer.
just that he's missing.
What about the Mrs. Claus? Has she been seen?
She has been seen. She has been attempting to find him and contact him at the usual places where sometimes he goes to, we'll just say vacation. When he needs to get away for a day or two. We've had no success. Which is part of why we have concerns that there may be something more nefarious at work.
Do we have anything to go off of as far as a location? Do we know at the very least in what direction he went?
We don't. What we're hoping, though, is because here's one wonderful thing about elves. They're not very good secret keepers. So we're hoping that maybe they have heard something.
Interrogate
the little elves are not very forthcoming with the rest of us, and sometimes they kind of speak in riddles.
Why can't they speak in plain common?
Yes, why can't they speak in common? Everybody understands common. Why do they gotta fancy it up with riddles?
Let's
So you
just say
said there's magic
politics
in
at
the
the North Pole are complex.
Now, I don't know about the rest of you. I'm less interested in anything having to do with a fat, jolly man who surrounds himself with a violent environment and slave labor. More just, let's back up. You said there was magic at the North Pole? Is this something...
Think of all of the mythical creatures that you know of. There's Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy. They all have to feed off the magic of children. Without the magic of children, they don't exist.
So he devours children?
So this is where things get to be a little bit competitive amongst these creatures.
I would like to make a notice check. Can I tell if anybody is on the other side of the door of the room that we're in, trying to listen in on what we're doing?
Not really, because the door's pretty heavy.
Okay.
You can hear just the basic bar noise. Like, no one necessarily followed us to the door.
Okay.
Anything else you want to check while you're kind of mulling this over? You've now found out that Santa Claus is missing. He may have some anger management issues. There may be something with the elves that isn't quite up to snuff. Mrs. Claus can't find him. So there's been a manhunt going on in the North Pole, essentially, is what you've kind of put together. But for whatever reason, they think that there may be more that's going on that people aren't telling them.
Does anybody else know that you're here?
The only others that know I am here are my other Frost Maidens.
How did you know to find us? Not less so where, but us specifically. Sure, there's lots of people who would jump at the chance for gold to rescue and or kill a fat, jolly man surrounded by violence and slave labor.
Well, there was this jolly little one. He said he had this great friend named... The guy talks really fast and then this very high-pitched voice. Ran across him. Apparently he knows the elves. He mentioned that he had a friend named Kargath who he'd recently been adventuring with that had this party of wonderful people that might be able to help us out.
I see.
And he told me
Little
I could find him in
people, big
favor. So here I am.
All right, so let's say we do take on this assignment. How do we get to the North Pole?
That involves a little bit of magic of my own.
Oh, great.
It's a really
now we're
quick
gonna ride in some
trip,
magical sleigh or something.
It's a little disorienting at first, the first time you ever make the trip. And all it will require is 5 mugs of mulled cider for each of us. Well, I mean, 1 for each of us, because there's a total of 5 of us here.
We have to get drunk for this?
5 for each of us? That's a lot. Oh, you mean?
I mean, I wouldn't stop
Are you saying you're a lightweight?
Oh, for everybody in this room. Oh, okay. I get it. 1 for each of us at 5 total. I'm starting to get a hang of this.
Like I said, it will be a rather quick trip, but it may be a little disorienting when we first arrive on the other side.
All right. Well, if it involves drinking, I'm game.
Have a chance for learning more magic secrets. I'm in.
So she leans over, opens the door, shouts out to the barmaid to get her attention. Oi! The barmaid looks. I need 5 mulled ciders, please.
What part of this?
She returns with a platter of the mulled ciders. She sets them down on top of a cask that's just kind of sitting there, like, you know, basically just a big barrel. It's obviously probably empty, so she's going to use it as a table. She reaches into her cloak and pulls out 5 candy canes. She puts 1 in each cup, stirs it 3 times. Now what's going to happen, and I will go first so you can see that it is perfectly safe to do this. The candy canes are what contain the magic. They're dissolving in the mulled cider to give the magic to teleport you where the candy canes have originated from, which is the North Pole. So all you have to do, take your glass, drink up, and it will teleport you to the North Pole. Just like this. She grabs her mug, drinks, and all of a sudden you just see her kind of poof and just a bunch of snowflakes fall.
Okay, so who wants to drink the explodey punch first?
Explodey punch?
And the pursuit of knowledge.
In the pursuit of happiness for children. I'll drink mine.
In the pursuit of slave labor.
And now, our adventurers will start their adventure. So you all safely teleport over to this. It looks very similar to where you just came from. And when you get there, this large, tall woman is still standing there, waiting for each of you to arrive, making sure that when you do arrive that you're okay. So I'm going to need each of you to roll a Constitution check.
Constitution.
Wow. 3.
Even better.
16.
18.
I got that one. I'm pretty sure I'm
Okay.
puking in somebody's.
So Kargath is laid out on the floor. Like, he came in, he didn't even land on his feet. He's just down. Like, whatever, where am I at?
I got
What
the
day
meat
is it?
sweats. I thought it was supposed to be cold
Exactly.
here.
And then someone rolled a 3.
Very.
Okay, so teleportation not good for orcs. Good to know.
Outstanding.
So he's
So
not quite as bad a shape as Kargath.
Oh,
Like,
Using
he
my-
managed to land on his feet, but he's like got his hand against the wall, like, hold on here.
Are we outside or are we inside? Where
You're
are we?
inside. It teleported you into a room very similar in the bar in the building in the North Pole that you just left. So like you look around and things look similar, so you know you're in some sort of storage room, but something definitely looks a little bit different. So okay, we'll give you all a moment to kind of stabilize a little bit. Coggath, are you okay?
Stumble around, look for a pile of hay to puke in. Grab my composure, wipe my lips, and be like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good."
All right. And you, sir, the other large fellow.
Almost as bad as the mead that my cousin Cordell brewed in his basement, but I'll live.
Ugh.
All right. Like, do you need some fresh air? Do you need some water? Are you going to vomit?
Oh no, that ship has long sailed.
Okay. All right. The other two, well, they seem fine.
Yeah, I'm over here just
Well,
rearranging.
2 isn't bad.
I'm rearranging all of the many things kind of stuffed into the jacket and the vest that I'm wearing, making sure everything's right where it needs to be and accessible.
I'm assuming we're probably the first orcs to ever use that teleportation spell, huh? Must be something with orcish blood or something.
Or maybe they just have the inner ears of gods.
There could be that too.
We're tieflings.
All right. So
I highly doubt it.
Once you all have gotten your wits about you,
Maybe the devil.
I know this looks very similar to where we left, but when we exit that door over there, it's going to take you. No one's going to be as tall as you. Let me just be very honest. Well, you're going to be walking out into a town full of elves. At that point, I'm going to take my leave of you. However, before I take my leave, I want to go ahead and give you this, because I need to go do some additional investigating up at the workshop. See what we might be able to find there. That way we're all working together. She pulls out this. If you didn't know better, you'd think it was like a giant round orb of ice. But it's crystalline. So it's a crystal, so it's not going to melt. And she hands it to you, and when she hands it to you, she flips it over. On the bottom here, if you end up in trouble, and this is trouble that you can't get yourselves out of, you press your hand to the bottom, throw it into the air. It will send a signal to where you're at for me, and I will come and assist. I can come and help you. If you get information and you just need to find me, do not put your hand on the bottom. Just throw it in the air. It will act as a beacon. I will then come and know that you may have some information that is going to be useful in our search. Now, the caveat to this is it only is good 2 times. So don't waste it.
With that, I'm probably going to look at the half-orc.
I'm looking and I reach into my pocket and I pull out kind of a cloth and I kind of hold it out and gesturing for you to place it in so I can wrap it around and we don't accidentally touch it and take it and wrap it off.
And so it's not quite that fragile, but like it basically, because you're the people that are traveling with her, the magic has imprinted each of you onto that crystal.
I see.
But it can only be accessed by handprint on the bottom.
Oh.
I see.
Oh, what did we lose? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think we lost our road.
We'll give him a minute. We'll see if he hops back.
Yeah, we lost our fighter.
Fighter, come back.
No. Well, right now would honestly be a great time for, while we wait for him to come back, we will go ahead and talk about this charity that we are raising some money for today. We'll go ahead and just play this short video. And hopefully by then our fighter will have returned.
Hopefully.
All donations for tonight's game go to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude is leading the way the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. The mission of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is to advance cures and means of prevention for pediatric catastrophic diseases through research and treatment. Consistent with the vision of the founder, Danny Thomas, no child is denied treatment based on race, religion, or a family's ability to pay. Unlike any other hospital, the majority of their funding comes from individual contributions, and thanks to generous donors like you, families never receive a bill from St. Jude. St. Jude has treated children from all 50 states and from around the world. Treatments invented at St. Jude have helped push the overall childhood cancer survival rate from 20% to more than 80% since it opened more than 50 years ago. To learn more about supporters, staff, innovative research, pioneering treatments, and to see inspirational stories, head on over to stjude.org. That's stjude.org. Everyone here at Geek News Now would like to thank all of you for being a part of our charity stream and for helping us to put an end to childhood illness. Thank you, and enjoy the game.
Sorry about
All
that, guys.
right,
My
and
browser
our
crashed.
fighter has returned. Since we have, played the video to let you know what charity we're working with today. So, Korloff, do you want to go ahead and give folks a little bit more information about, what things they can win as a result of, donating to this cause and put in that and what it takes to get put into that drawing?
Absolutely. So in the description of wherever you're watching this, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, you will see a link to tiltify.com, and that is the link to the website. You can also watch the stream on that website, and there will be a button that says donate. And we have a few prizes that we've set for you guys a chance to win. I believe the minimum prize, minimum donation to be entered into the drawing, $25, will get you a series of 3D printed, unpainted miniatures of the characters used in tonight. You can paint these however you like, make us look as wonderful or as silly as you can. I know these are kind of hard to show up on stream here correctly because they're bright white, but these are high quality resin prints. So a minimum donation of $25 gets you a drawing into that. For a minimum donation of $50, you can be entered into a set of aquamarine gemstone dice provided by our friends over at Metallic Dice Games. This is the same. You will be getting a brand new set from Metallic Dice Games, but Ari over here is using her own set of that same dice tonight in the game. They're a little heavier than normal resin dice. They roll really well and they're really beautiful. So a minimum $50 donation gets you that. And then what did we set for the dice tower? $80. And an $80 donation gets you to the top tier drawing, which is, if she has it on her to show, the Ice Crystal Dice Tower, 3D printed by Kat. That is out of a silk PLA, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There's pictures on the Tiltify site of each of these items, so to be sure to include your mailing address and contact information so we know where to send to the winners. And we have a golden item trying to reach $1,000 in donations to help us beat childhood illness and to raise money for a wonderful cause. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of it. Once again, $25 gets you the miniature. It gets you into the drawing for the miniatures. $50 gets you into the drawing for the gemstone, true aquamarine gemstone dice. And $80 gets you into a drawing for the beautiful Ice Crystal Dice Tower printed by Kat.
All right, so now that we've got our fighter back, without further ado, let's go ahead and continue on with our adventure. So she very quietly just kind of walks over and opens the door. You notice that it's a similar time to what it was when you left your tavern. It's evening, you see, and the place is full of nothing but elves. And when I say elves, I'm not talking the tall, thin variety that we think that hang out in the woods. We're talking about the short, under 2 feet tall, toy-making variety. And there's like hundreds of them. In your bar, the tavern you were at, probably that many people wouldn't necessarily fit into that similar space. But here, people seem to have no problem. And the same type, and you're kind of looking around, you're a little bit bewildered because there's this perception of toy-making elves, right? That they're fun and they're jolly and they're jovial, and you step out and you see several of them drinking, a couple drunk passed out in the corner, You see a table with all kinds of gambling going on, 2 or 3 gambling tables. There's a bard singing some limericks up on the stage. So, folks, at this point, this is where I will leave you. I've paid for all of your food, your drink, your stay here. You've got rooms upstairs, each of you. Since it is a little bit dark, I would recommend staying inside for the night. Things become a little bit questionable down here in the village after dark.
So what you're saying is we're in this shady part of town.
Well, it's not shady. And I wouldn't necessarily say that it's just part of town. Most of the village is a little questionable after dark.
All right. So
what's everybody's perception of us? I mean, you've got a couple orcs and a couple tieflings who are obviously towering over and probably quite terrifying in appearance. What is the general, looking around the room, what do I notice is kind of the general reaction to our presence?
So people they're looking at you. They're not looking at you in like a violent, we want to hurt them kind of way, but more like a who are these people kind of way. They're not necessarily suspicious, but they're also not necessarily looking to become your best friend right away. If you know what I mean. Everyone's kind of like watching you, but they're still kind of carrying on about their own regular business.
So they kind of got that, like, there's foreigners, but they're not really concerned with us.
Yeah, because they saw her walk away from your group, they know that for some reason she brought you here, which means you know something about the town, the area. So you didn't just somehow randomly wander in.
Well, I suppose that we should start questioning some of them. Is any elf sitting alone?
No one's really sitting alone. You can tell they're very much about like kind of community. Like they're very like there aren't really any loners or outsiders. Everyone's kind of like in little groups.
Okay, I'm just gonna shortcut this, everyone. I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy and throw open all the doors and windows. Stand up on a table and just say as loud as I can, "We're looking for Santa Claus," and I want to see how the room reacts.
All right. So, from the gambling table, you know, why we don't care about that fat man? He don't care about us. Why we care what happened to him?
The elves of Harlem.
Santa's gone. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
A couple Italian elves over in the
Gambling
corner.
here.
Hey,
I'm walking in.
And everyone they're not necessarily saying that they agree, but you can kind of tell that obviously this guy kind of speaks a little bit more for the community than you may have expected him to. And as a result of that, people are nodding in agreement, but no one else is really saying much of anything.
So then if you guys don't care about him, I guess you guys don't care about living here and being able to just be the way that you guys are. Because what we were told is that if he's not here, then you can't live here anymore.
Oh, look at the newcomers. They think that this, oh, honey, you got us confused. We ain't the elves that live up at the big house. Down here, we take care of our own. We got our lumberjacks. We got a mining guild. We built all this down here after we were shunned from the top. We built everything. We worked for everything we got down here. That fat fool, nah. Like I said, he cast us out, and as far as he's concerned, he doesn't care if we live or die. The fact that we managed to live down here and do something for ourselves and build like an extra little community outside what goes on up on the hill, I'm pretty sure is the bane of his existence. Because it shows the people up on the hill that if they ever get tired of him, they got options. They ain't just gonna be out in the cold because we take care of our own down here.
I'm still laughing. They certainly are down there, aren't they?
I mean, they are probably half gnome. It's the only way they're that.
Boyo, don't make me bring you down to my level.
I'd love to see.
I see you. You got kneecaps. You may not have them for very much longer, but you got kneecaps for now, boy.
Yeah, remember, they're the ones that make the baseball bat Johnny gets. I'm just saying.
According to them, they don't make this stuff anymore.
You said the big house.
All right, so we're looking. All right, look, we were hired to find Santa. Now look, we find him dead. Better for you. We find him alive. Maybe we can talk about conditions for you guys. I mean, you see any other better offers on the table? Or you're just gonna sit there and be drunk?
So here's the thing. We actually got some pretty good conditions down here. We got some really nice housing that we built by ourselves. So 200 years ago, when he first started kicking elves out of the place, there was nothing down here. All this was in the middle of the dead of winter when they kicked us out with nothing was some trees and some dirt and some grass. That first winter was rough. That first winter, we didn't have any houses. We didn't even get tents when they kicked us out. There were 200 of us. They just were like, bye, see ya.
Bye,
They didn't care about us.
Think
But
about
we were
this,
survivors.
though. With Santa missing, though, how do you think your conditions are going to get whenever he's no longer around to protect you?
He doesn't protect us down here, big boy.
Maybe
You're in
not
the
you
North
specifically,
Pole.
but the North Pole.
You're in the North Pole.
Here's
Isn't
the
it
nice
always
thing about
winter?
the pole. The pole is an island. A giant island. And I don't know if you've been outside lately. Not a lot of people want to come up here for vacation, if you know what I mean. We got polar bears. We got moose. And them moose, oh, they moody. Let me tell you. Like they moodier than your mother when you don't take out the trash. Like they are horrible. No one comes up here for vacation. The only people that come up here, well, no one really comes up here. Unless they're brought up here for some special reason. Like
Which
you.
is why we're here. Look, we're either going to
whatever's going on up
we're
here,
either
wherever
going to
the
stay here
fat man's
and
gone.
keep pestering the hell out of all of you, or you can help us so that we get out of here. Your choice.
Yo, you boys hear that? They think that we're gonna help them.
I'm disappointed.
Like they think just because we little don't mean we got fight. Like I said, we were kicked out in the snow 200 years ago. And this is what we built. And we've been surviving ever since.
Well, if you're not going to move, then stand aside and we'll leave.
Well, we ain't stopping you. The door's back over there.
What is the light source in the room?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is the light source in the room?
Same as it would be in any other tavern. There's candles, some candle chandeliers,
torches.
So are we all
so
going
yeah,
outside?
basic tavern lighting.
Are we leaving the tavern?
I think so. We're not getting anywhere with this guy.
Okay, I want to be the last one out, and then I want to cast my cantrip Control Flames and just extinguish every flame in the place as we leave. Just walk out of the room and just turn around and just turn the lights out and leave.
I just want to hear that little elf react to it because the elf is starting to sound like John Travolta. so all the lights come out, it's like, whoa, man, it's dark in here. Oh my god.
All right, so you guys have decided to go against Elsa's recommendation. It's late at night. You're going to go outside?
Yeah.
We're not getting anywhere.
We're not getting anywhere in here.
Well, yeah, we don't seem to be getting anywhere with the.
Unless the plan is just to stick it out until morning, in which case we'll have to tolerate these elves for as long as that takes.
I don't know. I just turn the lights out on them. I don't know how that's gonna go.
All right. So give us just one moment here.
I think I just derailed the whole.
I mean,
it's kind of nippy out here.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Just one moment here. I need to bring you guys back so that you are not muted.
Hey,
there we go.
Ha
Ha!
So the city managed to survive the giant wildcat walking through it. I mean, it's a magical land, so these things happen.
Was cat
It was
still up?
pretty hilarious to see this cat come through. Like, I'm gonna destroy everything. Like, okay, that's why we don't go outside after dark. Got it.
Yeah, she was actually out of the room, and she literally had just barely walked in as that happened. I was like, oh, great. Well, you know.
We hear this echo in the distance.
Yeah.
This sings the song.
I mean, she did tell you that things outside were a little bit touch and go, so, you know, she didn't mention the wildlife, though. But, hey, anything goes. So you see, like, a bard, you see some guys standing around, like, what looks like a potentially like a doorway a little ways down. What do you guys do?
Well, what are they wearing? What do they look like?
So they're wearing, like, commoner clothes. Like, you would expect, you've kind of figured out now that these elves here are not the red and green pointy hat, pointy shoe variety. But they're still elves, but now they're wearing, like, you know, like you'd expect, you know, pants, just basic commoner clothes in their size.
Can we see if they're if they have any weapons?
None that you can necessarily see.
Let's see. Yeah, well, the way the one was talking inside, they probably got daggers hidden somewhere.
Bring it.
So
I mean, most people in this time probably have weapons on them, just as a common thing, not necessarily to intend to do harm, but to defend themselves if anyone is going to do harm against them. You see, like, maybe like a guy, like almost like a little like food truck type cart.
All right.
In the
Well,
middle
Down
of
the
the
way,
night?
kind of near the alley.
yeah. I mean, those obnoxious elves that were inside said that they got cast out and that there's this higher building. Does any of you see this so-called building that they're supposed to be in?
The big house
up on the hill.
Yeah.
Do we, when we kind of look around, are we able to really see anything, or is it just is it too dark for that?
As you look to the right, you can see like the road that leads out of town, and then you do see like this kind of big lighted aura that's up higher, which you're assuming is probably like the toy factory. You also see giant horse prints going that way. So you're assuming that the woman that brought you there, maybe that was the direction she rode off in.
Okay.
I pull some parchment out and I just start taking notes and kind of looking around and writing more, looking and kind of looking at the gentleman in front of us, and I'm just writing, just taking all the notes that I can and then shoving it back in my.
And you see there's this little like street bard, like, she's pretty jovial, just kind of playing her lute. Comes up. So can I play you guys a song?
Can you point us in the direction that Santa went?
Why would you want to go there?
Because we need to find him.
I mean, it's not a very happy place up there, to be really honest. It's kind of a bummer. I just really don't know why you want to go there.
It's being a pretty big bummer just being here, so we may as well get it over with.
Wow.
Okay, someone's a Debbie Downer. Okay.
Definitely not the happiest place on earth.
So I want to walk over to the one that's closest to me and like kneel down in front of him to where I'm as close to face eye level as I can. I want to use thaumaturgy to change the color of my eyes to a bright silver and just say, look, he owes us a lot of toys as back payment. Just point us in the direction. And stand back up and walk away and step back. I'm chaotic good. I don't have time for these things.
So I really don't want any trouble. I really don't. But you're kind of scary, so I'm gonna go away now. Bye. And, look at Brownie.
Destructo cat.
Oh.
I got the
cats.
The bard basically just kind of runs away. The bard gets scared and runs away, and it's not because they found a giant cat where they don't belong. Okay, there we go. All right.
The fighter jabs desperately with his lance.
Everyone roll for initiative.
I can roll stats for the cat. I mean, I can make this happen. I can make this a thing. So
I'm gonna smite the cat with my sword.
Right. So
be gone, evil. Be gone.
Good. She's sleeping
maybe
now.
if you let
Okay,
the cat swallow you, you might find Santa.
That's the secret.
So you kind of look down the road a ways, and you see like this little group of like guys that are just kind of like hanging out, like talking, chit chatting, not necessarily. They're not necessarily, doing anything interesting. They're just kind of hanging out. And like I said, they're kind of near this little doorway, kind of down the ways just a little bit. And they're really not paying you guys any mind. They know you're there, but they're just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever.
Well, apparently, I just seem to scare everyone. Somebody else give this a try.
I'm not going to be much better.
Describe the doorway that they're guarding. What kind of building is it attached to?
So it looks just like a standard shop, just what you would expect in a little town. Like you've got bakeries, you've got general stores, just kind of lining the streets.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take the straightforward approach. I approach these little elves. Ahoy there, friends. Well, why are you guarding this doorway? Something special about it?
All right, so you guys kind of go down this way. Give me just 1 second here. All right, so you hold on. I'm cleaning up the carnage. You know, so you guys can see what you will need to see.
Destructo cat.
So you come on down there, and there's these little elves that are there, just kind of hanging out. And so you've gone ahead and approached them. And like I said, they're kind of bundled up because it's wintertime. And this one guy has like a big trench coat. And he's standing there, like he's kind of cold. And all of a sudden, his arm goes out. He's like, "Hey, you want some discount toys? Got all kinds here. We got tops. We got Rubik's cubes. We got spinners. We got yo-yos. What can I do you for?"
Where'd you get all these?
I mean, I made them. Where do you get all these things?
All right. Well,
I mean, if you don't want that, I got candy. I got candy too.
Oh no, we lost our fighter again.
Oh no. Hold on, he'll be back in a sec. There we go.
Destructo cat.
I'm not sure what happened there. My browser didn't even crash that time. I don't know.
It's okay. It allowed Destructo cat to come through both ways.
Take out Ari.
Yeah. All right.
Oh God. Okay. So are any of these items that this elf is advertising, do any of them come off as particularly special?
No, it's kind of like if you're walking down like a New York City street and a guy opens up a jacket full of Rolexes. Like it's the same kind of vibe.
Okay, but no one object in his coat is, out of the ordinary.
No, like nothing seems to be giving off any kind of I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, give me an insight check.
Can I assist?
Yes, please.
I'm going to as well, out of a educational curiosity, kind of lean forward and.
All right. 15.
Insight is.
All right. So as a fighter, you don't see anything that really gives you anything, even based on your background, that nothing's giving off like a magical vibe or anything. I mean, as far as you know, it's just a bunch of knockoffs.
Well, maybe you can point us in the direction that we're looking to go in. Do you know what happened to Santa Claus?
I think I heard the guys over here like talking about him a little while ago. Like let me go see. Like come with me. Yeah, I think some of my buddies were talking about something about him a little later. You want to follow me?
Sure. You guys okay to follow him?
All right.
Sure, let's follow him.
So
But
our little merry band here. He opens the doors.
I'd like to discreetly kind of
over all the trees.
I'd like to.
And you
kind
guys
of
are just gonna have to jump the walls because your miniatures aren't even gonna fit through the door.
But I want to kind of discreetly kind of pull a dagger out, but just kind of like tuck it back against my wrist, so it's kind of against my arm, kind of hidden, but in my hand.
All right. So he leads you through this door, and what you thought was going to be a shop is actually more of just like a blank alleyway. And he's like, "Yo, boys, These guys ask about claws. We want to show them what we do to people that ask about claws around here. Roll initiative.
Uh-oh.
Bring it.
Yep.
Yep. It's a trap.
That's with Constitution.
10.
10.
Just say it.
22.
22, all right. Kargath, what do you get?
But I'm rolling here. I'm just looking for my where. Here it is. 3.
All right. So, Tolkien, you had a 7?
9.
9, okay.
I
And
had
Ari
10.
had a 22. Karloth had
10.
10. And Kargath,
3.
3. All right. So, Ari's going to go first. Yeah.
Woo!
Which one are you going for?
Well, there's one right in front of me.
That guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my rapier.
Okay.
17 to hit.
It hits.
Woo! And since technically he's within 5 feet, does that still apply with the sneak?
All right.
Okay, take that as yes. Okay, that's max. That's 14,
Nat 20?
17. That would be 17 points of damage.
Yeah, so you took that one out. All right. Next is going to be the little guy that is there in front of Tolkien. He has a little club. And
All
so
right.
he's going to swing to try and hit you there.
Okay.
Like,
19 hits. No,
Yes.
it doesn't. No, yes, it does. Because your AC is 9, right?
My what?
No, your AC is 15? Armor class?
14.
14. Okay, yeah, so 19 hits. And that is a 1d4 weapon. 4 points.
Okay.
So he like slams your toe. From there, we've got my little guy over here that's by Kargath. He's going to move up, and he's going to swing. 18. Kargath, what's your armor class? I didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
It's a 15. So
All right, so he misses.
All right. You,
All
what did
right,
you
from
roll?
there, Tolkien, you're up.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and take out my lance and try poking the dude next to me. The one that stubbed my toe.
Okay.
Because you just heard off.
All right. 16.
Yep, that hits.
And then I roll the 20 again, right?
At that point, since you've already hit, you just need to roll damage.
Okay. 5.
5. Okay. So he like stumbles back, like takes like one knee and kind of stumbles back.
Okay.
All right. So this little guy over here, they see what's going on. Comes up here. You hit my friend. He rolls an 18, so he hits.
Yep.
1 point of damage because his little dagger just like stabbed your foot.
Yep. It's like a
Then this
toothpick.
little guy's gonna come up here and try and help his friend out. Oh, okay. He nat 20, so go ahead and take 4 points. He stabbed you in the other foot. I mean, keep in mind they're little. You know, they can only probably reach your feet at this point. All right. Next, we have Karloff.
Okay, the one that's in front of Ari, I want to move to the right of him and face all three of them in a line. So yeah, he moves.
Basically,
Here?
like somersaulting over me.
No, to the other. Sorry, to his right side, and then facing all those three in front of them in a line. And I want to cast Burning Hands in a way because it's a 15-foot cone effect. I may have to roll.
Is that a cone effect or is that a line effect?
It's a cone effect. It's a 15-foot cone effect. Can I hit all three from there?
But you also hit Ari.
I would hit it. Okay.
Or even
Yeah,
if
because it's a cone, so it goes like this.
Right. I was wondering, can I turn and attempt it?
Or like just the edge of the cone.
Yeah, I mean, they still have to make it. You still have to make a saving throw, but it's a dex saving throw on it.
Okay. So, Ari, are you willing to take the risk?
I mean, if he's casting it towards.
I mean, I don't know if there's any way for you to avoid any kind of radiant on it. You know what? Tell you what, we'll scratch that because I don't know that I can do it without hitting everybody. And from that position, I'm going to use Shocking Grasp and just reach down, put my hand on top of his head, and use my cantrip. I have it as a cantrip, Shocking Grasp. So.
All right, and what damage does that? How much damage does that do?
It's still a roll to hit. I still have to manage to grab him, but it's a 1d8 if I do.
Okay.
And that is a dirty 20 to hit.
All right, it hits.
Okay, and then a 1d8. That's a 1. So I made his hair stand up.
Oh, that's
shocking.
And I want to use the rest of my movement to back off a little bit and put some space between me and them and move back.
Okay, so are you moving
out of his immediate reach?
Okay.
Because there is one that's right
there. There. So I'm back and can see what's going on.
All right.
It's not as cool.
So this little guy up here kind of aims over here towards you. Rolls an 8. And apparently, Karloff, I did not write down your AC either. What is your AC?
14.
14. Okay, yeah, no. He like swings at you but it's like a sword, so it's like he's a swashbuckler. You know. He just kind of waves it in front of you.
I take offense to that.
Yeah. All right, and Kargath, you are up.
All right, the one that is behind me there. Yeah, that guy. I'm going to swing at him with my great sword.
All right.
Um, 6. My dice are not liking me tonight.
So you like swung above his head.
Big sword, small target, not easy to hit.
Because they're so short, like, you know, it's like playing golf. Yeah. All right, well, that brings us back to the top of the key with Ari.
All right. So the one that's now in front of me is also going to have fun with my rapier. Nope.
All right.
See, actually, yeah, that would work.
What'd you get?
Got 17 on the die. Okay, 17 on the die. Sorry.
All right, that's a hit.
Okay. So 23. 2 hit. Nope, I don't get that. Not unless I moved. But whatever. 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage.
All right, so he's unconscious. Like he's laying on the ground all day.
And because I do have 2-weapon fighting, I know different DMs play that differently. Would that be where I can still use like a dagger for you, or is that where I just have the 2 blades for 1 attack?
So, is it 2 hand fighting or 2 weapon fighting?
2 weapon.
Okay, so 2 weapon just means you can have 2 of the same weapon. If it's 2-handed fighting, that's when you can dual wield.
Okay. I just know like some DMs allow different things. That's why I wanted to clarify. So then I will. Pretty much that would be it.
All right. And so we already took out the one that would have gone next. We have the guy that likes to smash toast. We've got our toast smasher back over there, going after Tolkien. 10. Your AC is 9. He hits you. Let's see what he does to you.
Wait, my AC is not 9. My AC is 14.
Oh, 50. Sorry, you're right. Never mind. He misses. My bad.
I was like, I'm pretty sure.
Man, you can smash another toe too for like another 1 point of damage.
I'm pretty sure if you're naked, your AC is 11. So. So.
All right, and Korloth, your turn.
To the one that's in front of me. Yeah, the one that's in front of me, I'm gonna do. Yeah. We're gonna use my cantrip Firebolt.
All right.
Good choice.
And how much damage does that do when you roll that?
I have to roll it. I still have to hit, and then it gets 1d10.
Okay.
All right, so 21 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
7 points of damage.
All right. So he's kind of wobbly. Like he's not on really steady ground. He's kind of wobbling around after taking that hit. All right. So we got the little guy now that's behind Kargoth. That's over there by Kargoth. 14. Kargoth that doesn't hit you, does it?
No, I have an AC of 15. No. So.
Okay. So it was close. It was close. He poked at you, but he was like too short and like didn't connect. Then we've got Tolkien.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and use my lance to attack the same elf that I attacked last time.
All right.
$17.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. And 8 damage.
All right, so he's gonna be unconscious. And that would have been he's prone, so he misses his turn. So then the one who's over there next to Karloth, he's going to try and swing at you.
Okay.
Hit 6. Swing and a miss.
Big miss.
All right. So about this time, the little bard that you scared off earlier comes like bursting through the doors. Everyone just stop fighting. Like, oh my, like, okay. Like, why are we fighting? Why are we fighting? Like, we don't need to fight. We don't need to fight.
He started it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one that
I'm not saying they didn't, but we don't need to fight. That's what I'm trying to tell them. That like they're just dumb boys. Like they just wanted to fight you because you're not from here, and they're not smart. They're obviously not big. They're not strong.
All right.
Like, you guys don't need to fight. You're not even here. You're not even here about us. Like, we didn't. For once, no one sent anybody down here to take care of our mischievousness. So, like, if I promise you that they'll be good, will you just leave them alone and go away?
Are you gonna tell us where Santa Claus went?
I don't know where Santa Claus went. I can't tell you what I don't know. If you really want answers, the ones that are going to know are going to be closer to the mountain. They don't tell, like, we didn't even know he was gone until you guys came in here and started blabbing about how he's gone.
All right. Well, are we going to encounter any more of your friends on our way to the mountain?
Oh, no, most of these guys don't even leave town. Like, I mean, they go to work, but work's the other way. You know, yeah, I mean, they go to the lumber mill, they go to the coal mines, like, you know, they go to the little shops, like, but yeah, I mean, we don't leave town. We're pretty happy here, actually. There's not as many restrictions. Like, we can drink, and we can dance, and we can gamble, and we can party. Like, we get to have so much more fun now than we did when we had to be up at the big house. Like, in the big house, it was like, oh, you can't do that. Elves don't do that. Everybody got that on Santa if they just did that. So, I mean, we're always a little bit sad when we first get sent down the hill because it's all up there is all we've ever known. But like, once we've been down here and like we've had a chance to really kind of get used to it, it's actually like, seriously, like we're the lucky ones down here.
All right. Well, what do you guys think? Should we ditch this and go up the mountain?
I mean, we could try going up the mountain, or maybe we can get some rest and then try again in the morning. Especially since we were kind of told not to come out at night. Seems like probably run into some even more less favorable creatures. And maybe who's out during the day, maybe they'll have a better maybe they'll be more cheery about Santa.
Well, hopefully
so are we going? Wait. You're talking about going back into the place where I just shut the lights out on everyone?
I'm sure they turned them on by now.
Yeah, I'm sure they turned them on by now.
If you guys want, I'll go back with you and tell them they need to play nice. Like, I mean, I'm sure you probably met like Joey and Johnny and Tommy. Like, they talk really big and they're really and okay, they are kind of mean, but like, it's just because like they were the first ones that were down here, so like life was really hard for them, and they just don't want people to push us around because we're little.
Yeah, but we weren't pushing them around. We were just asking questions, you know, trying to find some information.
I promise I'll tell them they have to play nice.
All right.
My grandpa's never ever like not done anything I asked him to do.
Oh, I'm game if you guys are. It is a little bit cold out here.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to kind of cover myself with my cloak, kind of pull it up over my head and just kind of put everything away, hands like in my sleeves, and just kind of walk in like I didn't just really make mad everybody in the room.
All right, so you guys go back into the tavern. The bard kind of leads you back in, and yeah, you know, the lights are back on. They've got everything lit back up, and like the whole party's back going again. And like she leads you in, and you guys all walk in the door, and like if there was a record player, you would have heard that noise. Guys, like, I know they're not from here, and I know they're strangers, and I think we've all figured out by now they were brought in by the hill. But, like, let's be honest, no one probably really told them what was up when they got here. So, like, can you guys just be nice and, like, let them figure out the hill business so that the hill leaves us alone, please? Grandpa?
So the hill leaves you alone? What's going on up there?
The hill is where Santa lives.
The hill is the big house, so it's all the same place. I'm gonna gather that's gonna be mine.
So if Santa's
I think
missing, why is
worried that, like, we're gonna start trying to recruit people to, like, just leave? But, I mean, they fire people enough every year anyway. It's fine. Like, I mean, it's not like our village is going away anytime soon.
how long has Santa been gone?
Dude, we didn't know. We did not know. We did not even know he was gone until y'all showed up.
So he's gone, and the
y'all
hill...
come in with your big hats and your fancy stuff and your tallness and start talking about how you're gonna find Santa and what do we do with him? We didn't do anything with him.
He's gone, and the hill is still giving you problems?
So it's kind of tricky. Like, we're kind of exiles in a way. So, like, once you're kicked off the hill, like, that's it. Like, you know, if your family's up there, they can stay, or if they decide to go with you, they go with you, but they can never go back. So, you know, sometimes when people first get down here, like, being up on the hill's all you've ever known. And because it's all you've ever known, you miss it because you don't know what's out there. And so, like, sometimes people try and go back and they catch them and they bring them back down here. But pretty much they leave us alone down here as long as we're not trying to cause trouble up there. Like, a few years ago, like, some of the people that were fired, like, got really upset and, like, made some trebuchets in the woods and started, like, flinging stuff at the hill, causing all kinds of problems. They accidentally triggered an avalanche. It was a whole mess. And it totally slowed production because, like, the whole workshop, I guess, got filled with snow or something. I don't know. I only got here. And so, like, they really weren't happy about that. So then they just, like, staged a bunch of guards outside the village so we would never leave. But, I mean, as long as no one's causing problems, then, I mean, you know, they pretty much leave us alone.
So let's say a few travelers might want to travel up that hill to investigate. What would we have to watch out for?
I mean, there's bears. And there's moose. I think there's a Bigfoot. I'm not sure. I've heard stories about an abominable snowman. But the forest is full of a lot of magic. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really leave town because I like it here. You know, I get to drink and I get to party and I get to have a fun time and wear whatever I want. Like, I don't have to wear that stupid uniform anymore all the time. So that really makes me really happy because I'm sorry, like, stripes. Hello, look at us. We are short. You put horizontal stripes on us, it makes us look short and fat. We have enough things working against us. We don't need those uniforms.
Okay, well.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty content down here.
So when Santa, I guess, is known for taking his sabbaticals and times where he takes a break, what are some areas he's known to go to? And I have an advantage on perception or on persuasion. So is there anything I can? I mean, I know I kind of picked off everyone.
One thing you're kind of starting to notice is these guys down here really are kind of dumb. Like, not dumb like they don't know things and they can't take care of themselves. But as far as, like, the politics and the politicalness of it, they really, once they're off the hill, they have no idea what goes on up there. So you know, you can even roll a 20 with her, and she's just gonna be like, I don't know, because they literally don't know.
Gotcha.
Because basically what happens is you know, he has a bad day, he blows up, he fires a bunch of elves, and so those elves are then sent down the hill, and they don't know what happens after that.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, like, we have a pretty good life down here. We really don't worry too much about them up there anymore. I mean, like, if you get further up the hill, you're probably gonna find like the bigger elves, and like maybe they know because they're in pretty good with the clauses. And I mean, I guess they don't have as much pressure because like they don't build the stuff for the little kids like all of us tiny elves do. So I mean, like maybe if you find them, maybe they might know. But I mean, I'm not sure where they hang out. They wouldn't. They didn't like us much.
Well, that sounds more productive than what we're doing now.
Yeah.
I'd say let's, rest up for the night, depart in the morning.
Okay. And there's, I believe our rather tall lady friend said there was room for each of us.
And she's paid for food and drink and accommodations.
All right. So are you guys gonna get anything to eat first, or are you just gonna kind of like retire up to your rooms?
I'm going to eat first.
Some food and some drink, and I'm going over to the ones that were gambling. I'm going to try to see if I can swindle something out of them.
I'm going to go up to my room and just study until I fall asleep.
I'm going to grab a leg of mutton and go up to my room, too.
All right. All right. So Tolkien and Korla head on upstairs to their rooms. Kargath is grabbing a bite to eat. Ari's going to head over and talk to the boys at the table. Oh, so you all decided to come back. If it weren't for my granddaughter, putting in a good word for yous, I mean, we can still bring you down to our size. But I mean, I guess if you want in on a game, I can let you in. 50 gold buy-in.
I guess put it on the tall ladies tab.
No. That doesn't go on the tab. You got the duckins to buy in on this one?
I suppose.
Right. So did you decide you're gonna go and just pass on that?
Like I'll put like where I have a little bag and like have some. I
mean, we could always loan you the rest. I mean, we could do a loan, see if you maybe are able to win the rest of it back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at me. I'm not there.
I know you're not there.
I'm just going to be like, and this is why I don't gamble.
Oh, come on. Gambling's just some good fun. Good fun.
Because just when you think you're out,
candy canes and
suck
cookies.
you back in.
Gold on the table.
I mean, come on. You're working for the big house. You can't tell me they ain't paying you guys.
She never gave us a number of what she would pay, so I kind of doubt I'm going to actually get paid. I'm just following the rest of my party.
Oh, come on. You don't strike me as someone's going to do this if you know you ain't getting paid.
She also did not tell me that I could not kill Santa, so one way or another, I'm going to get something.
Oh, I like to see you try that one. That's a laugh right there. Boy, is this girl, she ever you look at me and then kill a claws? Man, like, listen, did you see the size of the woman that walked out of here?
I saw her.
Did you see the size of that woman? I'm not coming at this from an elf. We don't judge. We don't discriminate. That woman has run his security for the last 45 years. And her mother before that, her grandmother before that, and her great-granny before that. These are some Amazonian women that I ain't never seen nobody smack down. I saw her great-grandma wrestle a bear. Wrestle a straight-up polar bear. These women are terrifying. And you think you're going to kill the claws and she ain't going to do nothing about it? You out your mind, kid.
Well, She herself says she doesn't know where he is. So if he's in mortal danger, whether it's from me or from somebody else, she clearly doesn't know.
I'm just saying, you may want to make sure that mortal danger isn't you. Just some friendly advice. Because like we said, this is an island. No one really comes here. There's a lot of wilderness out there where you might disappear.
I've seen
Just
a lot of
saying,
things.
not that we've heard things, but sometimes things happen. Accidents happen in the cold. It's really a shame.
Yeah. I guess
So
I guess I'll pass on it.
I'm gonna finish my food and I'm gonna go up to my room.
So, Kargoth, what are you doing? You still eating? Yeah, you kind of hanging out.
I'm just kind of observing, and then once I finish my food, I'm gonna go up to my room.
All right.
And then
all right. So a few hours have passed. It has been like I said, you guys got some rest. You ate some food. You guys had a chance to kind of Sorcerer did a little bit of studying. The fighter kind of recovered a little bit and got some rest after the joys of interdimensional portal travel. So the orcs are feeling good and healthy this morning. It's the next morning. What do y'all do?
Eat and I guess try to ask once more if anybody's going to help us in figuring out where Santa went.
Yeah. Is it still the same
when you guys wander downstairs, there's a few drunks passed out in the corner, which, I mean, you see that in your tavern all the time. The rest of the place is pretty quiet because at this point, a lot of people, that were there last night, they've gone into work. You've got a few shift workers that are kind of straggling in. You can tell they're kind of covered in dirt and sawdust. So you've heard talk of the lumber mill, the coal mines. So, there are still some operations that are kind of running 24 hours a day around here. But it's definitely a much quieter environment. You don't really see the gambling like you saw the night before. It's more of a quiet kind of like, hey, let's kind of hang out and decompress after work a little bit environment.
I think kind of looking at, is everybody downstairs now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be downstairs.
I think kind of looking at everyone and consulting some notes that I made the night before and kind of tucking them away. I think just, I think we need to go up the hill. Everybody seems to be bothered by what's up the hill. We need to know what's up the hill. Maybe there we can find clues that find Santa. I don't know where else to start. Apparently, nobody down here seems to want to help us. Nobody down here even seems to care that he's gone, let alone even know that he's gone.
He's gone.
But I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
they didn't know until
somebody is
that.
missing.
Yep, I agree.
So the barmaid kind of overhears your conversation. So one thing I think that maybe they didn't communicate really good is it's not that they don't want to help you. They just can't. We're a little bit isolated. Like we see Elsa and the other Frost Maiden come through periodically just to kind of check on things. But I mean, I'm sure you kind of figured out she's a little bit frigid and doesn't give you a whole lot of information up front. And she kind of keeps to herself. I mean, she makes sure that everything's running smooth and that there's no problems. And then she just kind of goes about her way. So I'm sure you figured out now we don't keep secrets very well. And she may have even told you that. We are really bad at secrets. We love it. We spoil surprises a lot. So like if you have a secret, don't tell us. We'll tell somebody. It's just in our nature. So it's not that people here don't want to help you. They really can't.
Well, if that's the case, let's just head right into it. Let's go up the hill.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. I'm sure if we poke around, we're
Do you
probably
need
just
any
going
food to take with you on the way?
No, but before we do, I will eat a breakfast. Can I get some eggs and some kind of meat?
Sure, we can do that. That's not a problem at all. Anything for the rest of you?
Sure.
Just some bread for me.
Sure. And I pull a small letter out of my vest and open it, and I sit and I'm kind of tuning everything out and just studying the letter while kind of mindlessly eating.
Anything for you guys to drink or just some food?
What do you have to drink for breakfast?
We've got milk, we've got cocoa, we've got eggnog. Eggnog's pretty popular around here. We've got some mead, we've got some ale.
Yeah, I'll take some mead. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
All right.
I've never heard of this cocoa stuff, so I'll try that.
Okay, not a problem. It'll be coming right up. And so she kind of disappears into the back, gives the order, comes back out, serves a few other tables, then comes back up with a couple trays, and she's got bread, she's got some meat, she's got like a little like meat, and she's almost like a charcuterie board just in case anybody else wants to snack. So you're kind of noticing like the people in the service industry and a lot of the elves down here are rather hospitable, but then you have others that are not so great. So you're starting to notice there's like a mix, but they're all the little elves, but it's still not what you would have expected when you hear the term Santa's elves. So here's also a little like bag of little things I put together. I know you said you didn't need anything for your journey, but it gets really cold out there, so you might get hungrier than you realize. So there's like some bread and some cheese and some like dried meats and things for you guys for your trip. Stay safe out there. Yeah, don't keep an eye out for bears, because there's a lot of them out there. Oh, and the wolves. Wolves too. Yeah, bears and wolves. Bears and wolves are bad. So, hey, anything else I can do for you?
No, I'm
we're
just
good to go.
kind of waving her off.
Right. And so she just kind of like scurries away.
All right, I'm gonna eat the eggs and the meat, and then taste the hot coke or taste the cocoa and see what that's about. Like, oh, this is not bad, and then I'll drink the rest of it, and then wait for everybody else to finish their business.
All right. So are you guys about to leave the tavern?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head out, and like you said, you noticed last night that as you headed out of the inn, there were the two ways you could either go right, which kind of dead ended into like a brick security wall. Which the talk of all of the predators in the woods, you're kind of starting to understand like maybe why this little village has such a big wall. Because most of the predators that they're talking about could probably stack on one of those elves in like 3 bites. But then you do notice that if you looked out to the right, that led out, there was like a grove of trees kind of leading along a road. There is still a lot of snow. It is still rather cold out. But you guys decide to go ahead and start heading up that road and you're noticing though that like that road doesn't seem to be very traveled from the village. But that is still definitely the direction, because you can still look up on the hill and see what looks like a giant workshop residence, something going up on that hill.
Okay. I want to make a notice check and see, kind of, looking up towards that way. Is there anything that seems odd, out of place? Is it too quiet? Is it too noisy? What do I notice?
You just see a lot of trees. A lot of really, really tall trees.
Okay.
I mean, it's wintertime, in the North Pole, as it is 90% of the time. It's kind of like Alaska, it's snowy and cold a good like 80 to 95% of the time. And that's really all you can see at this point. You do hear like a few birds and like the kind of things you'd expect to hear in the wild.
Okay.
You do think it's a little bit odd, though, that the horse hoof prints from last night are still very clearly defined. Like, you can still see them very clearly in the snow.
Is the snow actively falling outside?
Yeah, that's
not really, but there is a little bit of a breeze, so you would have thought that they would have at least been kind of like the breeze might have blown a little bit of snow over them, just so they weren't quite as clear and quite as sharp.
So they're either magic or they're fresh.
Correct.
I vote follow them. Just getting right to the heart of the matter.
I second that.
It's the only lead we have beyond ultimately uncooperative elves.
All right, so are you all ready to head out into the woods?
Yeah, let's head out into the woods.
All right.
Famous last words.
Everybody has famous last words.
So with that, of course, they sent, like you said, the gal from the tavern sent you guys with rations because, she understands that, sometimes travelers don't know what they're getting themselves into. You're noticing as you're traveling, though, that there's not really any traffic coming up that road at all.
How do we still see the hoof prints? Like, do they continue? Do they stop? Is there one set?
They continue. Yeah, like you can see that, and that's kind of what's telling you that this is obviously a road that is occasionally used. In addition to the fact that you can see up the hill, and you can tell that, hey, this looks like the only road that heads that way. I mean, as you start walking, you do start noticing like a few clearings here and there. But do you remember the townsfolk talking about there being like a lumber mill, and there were lumberjacks, so like maybe this is an area where they cut back some of those trees at some point. Things of that nature.
Okay.
So are you guys talking amongst yourselves?
Like, this is the strangest place I have ever been in my entire lifetime.
I have more of an educational curiosity, so as I'm walking, I'm kind of keeping an eye on everything, but also just kind of casually jotting down notes of things to review later and reflect on, and trying to be very observant of the surroundings and notate everything I see.
I would like to try, at least for Tolkien and Korloth, that when they're not paying attention, I throw snowballs at them.
Oh, jeez.
Roll for initiative.
And meanwhile, I'm just casually kicking up snow with every step that I take because it's white, it's fluffy, and it falls cool.
Especially when you got your nose in a book. I'm just like, perfect target.
All right. Are we starting to reach the end of these hoof prints? What's in front of us?
You're noticing the further out you're getting, it looks like the hoof prints are slightly more covered by the snow. So you're not sure if maybe it's because there are these areas where there's like where the trees have been cleared. And because of the fact that those trees have been cleared, maybe there's more of a draft. But you definitely are trying to see that they're not quite as clear as they were when you first started your journey.
Is there anything far off in the distance in the general direction that the hoof prints were going?
Nah, you see some rocks, trees, the kind of things you'd expect in frozen forest tundra.
So are we able to see an end to this path through the woods to where it goes up to the top? Are we able to kind of tell where that is, or are we
just kind of blindly following it?
Yeah.
Not yet. You do see where it looks like there's an area where the road may possibly fork up ahead, but you're not sure if maybe that's just an illusion created by the trees, or if the road truly does fork, because you can't quite tell, just because, I mean, it is a little bit sunny because now it is daytime, so the sun is kind of beating down on that snow and reflecting back up.
Okay.
And as we approach, do we see that there actually is a fork in the road, or?
So it's still too far up for you to really tell.
Okay.
I want you all to roll me insight. Like, see if you notice anything unusual happening.
Okay.
Inside.
16.
Okay.
21. That's a nat 20 for a 21.
So with this.
Okay.
4.
So the one thing you are starting to notice is as you get to this fork in the road, you're noticing that some of the trees don't have snow on them.
That's 6. Some of the trees don't.
And everything else is kind of dusted in snow. But all of a sudden you're starting to notice that it looks like there are some groups of trees.
Are the hoof prints still visible?
Barely. They're visible. You can see that they're there, but they're not really, really clear like they had been at one point.
Okay, so the hoof prints in the open are visible and exposed. The hoof prints inside of the forest, which should be untouched, are less visible. Do they fly?
Correct. And you've started to notice that for some reason, some of these trees out here don't have snow on them, but they should.
Take off.
And because it's not like there's a group of trees that have like no snow, and then a group of trees with snow where like maybe some of those trees maybe shielded the others. It's a situation where these trees are just completely intermingled in, but like you'll have one tree that just has no snow. Do any of you have nature?
No.
No.
Okay. So roll me an investigation check.
11 for Korloff.
19.
12.
3. I need new dice. You're not liking me tonight.
Right. Crawler rolled an 11.
Yeah.
Anybody else roll over a 10?
I got 12.
Okay.
19.
So you guys are starting to notice that the trees that don't have snow on them, there seem to be more of these trees without snow as you're getting closer to that fork in the road. And it almost seems like the trees without the snow might be moving.
How tall are these trees?
Anywhere from 4 foot to 7 foot.
Okay.
Which side of the fork in the road are the snowless trees more prevalent?
When you were walking up the road, it seemed like it was about even. But you're noticing now that it looks like they're almost more on the right-hand side of the road than the left.
I want to cast Levitate on myself and raise myself up above the tree line to get a better view.
Okay.
And that's cast as a second level. So above the tree line, because I can go up to 20 feet. High enough up that no trees obscure my vision. What do I see?
You see trees.
Just in every direction.
Yeah, like so, you can see that like the trees aren't obscuring it. Like you can see a clearing over to periodically, which
Can I
happens in the
see-
woods.
Can I see far enough in the distance where the trees kind of let out anything beyond the tree line? Or is it just trees as far as the eye can see?
In this area, it's very, very wooded. Think like old Europe, just trees as far as the eye can see. Like Austria, Switzerland, like back in like the 1600s. So there's not really a point when the trees thin out or disappear. Except for like in a few of these like little natural clearings. You do see some cave formations and rock formations, which makes sense considering how many people have talked about like bears and things, because that would be like what you'd expect to see in a bear type habitat. You do see like a couple packs of wolves just kind of running around the fort, like wandering around the forest. But nothing that necessarily seems too horribly out of place at this point.
All right. I guess I'm gonna kind of run on forward a little bit because you said that there's already that fork in the road, and that we're getting less snow on the right. And so I'm just gonna be like, okay, less snow on the right. Here's the fork. Let's go right, because there seems to be more activity this way. So maybe Santa went that way.
All right. So are you guys gonna go to the right to the fork in the road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a right at the fork.
All right. Roll an investigation check.
Cool. Say 14 for me.
Dirty 20.
7.
And 17.
So three of you notice that as you start to go to the right, it seems almost like the trees started to move in behind you.
Okay. I want to bring up the rear of the group and kind of be behind everyone else.
Okay.
Still moving, but I want to be at the back and kind of observing. And I'm actively telling the party this. I have Gust as a cantrip, so if I need to, I can cast it and push. If you're in front of me, push you forward if I need to. And so I take up the rear behind you guys if I need to do that.
Sounds like fun with a sled.
Probably, yes. I'll make notes of it and have to try it later.
So do any of you mention that it feels like the trees have kind of like closed in around the back?
I never noticed.
I mean,
oblivious to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of getting.
I've noticed it because I've moved to the back of the group, so I know it's there, and that's why I've told everybody, "Hey, this becomes an issue. I can shove you forward if I need to."
I'm kind of taking. I'm gonna take up like point in the group, and then like kind of cautiously. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna put my hand on my great sword, like.
So then I'll potentially figure out that Talkin doesn't understand, and I'll just be like, "Hey, Talkin, magic trees."
What are you talking about, little person?
They're moving on their own. Sometimes.
Oh, well.
Okay.
I'll be damned.
So
I think we should
go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, no.
Because when she mentioned that the trees were moving, all of a sudden, all of the trees without snow closed in a circle around you. Like, it was almost like the ground just shifted.
I got 17.
Korloth is 17.
I've got a 18 total.
21.
All right. So we had Kargoth in the front, Karloth in the rear. We have a bunch of really clumsy trees that keep falling over. And so were you two just kind of in the middle? Ari and Tolkien, were you guys just kind of in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've noticed that there's this encircling of trees and a drunk tree or two that are not feline assisted have circled in around you. And they're really just kind of following you, but now that you know that they are sentient, it seems to have kind of triggered something in them to realize that they need to let you know that maybe this is not the route that you should be taking. Give me all right, and so who had our nat 20 this go round?
I only added 21.
Yeah, 21. Okay. And who? Carlos, what did you have?
I had 17.
17. Kargath.
18.
18. Okay. And Tolkien.
17.
17. Okay, Karloff, Tolkien, roll off.
Seven.
Okay. And Tolkien, what was your second roll?
Oh, 5.
All right. All right. So we are going to go ahead and Ari, you're up. Can you guys kind of see where the trees are, or do I need to move that a little bit better for you?
I guess I'm just gonna turn to the tree that's closest to me that has moved and
Sorry,
try
I moved
to,
it just in camera view for you.
but like whichever one, like, because there's trees that are moving and trees that are not, so it's kind of like whatever tree that is closest to me that I notice is moved is the one I want to attack.
Okay, so that's gonna be this guy right here next to you, right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Nat 20.
All right, and what are you attacking it with?
My rapier.
Okay, yeah, it's max damage. So what does it do?
But I rolled an 8, so 16, 19.
Okay. All right. So
And I will
you hit
have
that tree,
the
and it
dodge action.
you see like all of the branches just kind of like sway around. It doesn't topple, but like you can tell that you definitely did some damage to it.
Right.
Next we have Tolkien.
All right. Well, I suppose I will try to attack the tree closest to me.
So this one here.
Yep. I will attempt to hit it with my lance. No. Okay, that's a 4. I miss.
All right, so like you kind of like swung at it, but like it had a bunch of branches, so you were kind of getting a weird shadow, and you miss. Carlos, you're up.
All right.
And you do have a tree directly behind you in case you can't see it.
Am I able to tell what direction we were coming from? You said the ground kind of. Yeah. Wait.
Well, the
I think
trees just kind of
Kargath
moved,
was
like they weren't
I think
blocking.
Kargath was ahead of me. What was Kargath?
Yeah.
What was your initiative?
Oh yeah, you're
18?
right. I do apologize.
18.
The two
So-
of you guys.
Sorry, I had you guys
have
written in the opposite order. My bad.
Yeah.
Saga?
So you have
Um,
two trees, one on either side of you.
That one that's kind of directly in front of me.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stand where I'm at and yell at it in common. What do you want?
And you just hear like this whistling through the trees, like almost like you don't feel any wind, but the sound you hear is as if there was a heavy wind blowing through the trees.
Okay.
It's not anything, since none of you have nature, I don't think it's anything that you guys can necessarily make out as far as the noise.
And it's not any kind of
But you can definitely tell that by yelling at the trees, it's created some sort of response.
okay.
Okay, is that all you're doing, Kargath?
Yeah, that's my action. I'm not gonna attack it unless I get attacked, at least for now.
Okay. Can I tell which direction we were coming from?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can I tell which direction we were coming from?
Well, since you were bringing up the rear, the direction you were coming from would be where the tree is behind you.
It would be for okay. So I want to turn around and cast Burning Hands. That's a level 1.
All right, is that a cantrip?
No, that's a level 1. And that's
Okay.
3d6. It's a 15-foot cone of flame, and it also ignites anything ignitable that it touches.
Okay.
Smokey starts a forest fire. Oh, that's sorry. That hits. It's 3d6. My bad. 4, 9, 12.
Right, so yeah. So you do that, you hear all of the trees making that same noise again. And all of the trees now move in closer on the party.
Is that noise continuing on, like constantly now continuing like what we're hearing?
Right now, yes, because, well, as a Lorax who speaks for the trees, they're on fire. And their brethren are on fire. And they might not be happy about that.
Yeah, they definitely ain't happy about that one.
Yeah. All right, so it is now the tree's turn. So we start with this one here that is right next to Tolkien.
We have that orb.
6, they're kind of distraught. So in this whistling, they're trying to do some flailing, so it just kind of like flailed at you, but it didn't make contact.
Okay.
The next one's going to be the one over by Ari. Uh, 15.
That's my AC.
Take a look
That's
here.
my AC.
Okay. So it's kind of a draw. Like it like gets near you, like really close, but doesn't make full contact. But that howling is starting to get louder. So the more the fire starts to spread from this spell, the louder that noise is becoming. This tree here was a 10. And so I think that misses you, right, Kargath?
in the front there, between the two trees. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it rolled a 10.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's definitely not a hit.
And the one on the other side of you rolls an 8. Where this tree here, it's going to swing at Karloff since you lit the forest on fire.
Okay.
14?
My AC is 14.
Okay, so same thing. It gets just right there, but doesn't quite make contact.
Okay.
And now the flaming tree. It rolls a nat 1.
Well, it's on fire.
At that point, because it's on fire, it just falls over onto all the other trees in the forest.
Okay.
Heartbreak.
So if that fell over behind us, do we have a path out?
What?
If that fell over behind me, do we have a path back the way we came? Or are there more trees in our way?
It'll depend upon how quick the rest of the trees get to the snow. Because
Okay.
right now, there's burning trees on either side of the road all the way back. And now you have a burning tree in the road.
Okay.
So you can see what happens with the forest fire. Or you have an option to potentially try and retreat.
Well, I don't know that the way forward
But
is
that
the way
does
to
give
go.
the trees around you an attack of opportunity.
Whose turn is it?
We're back at the top of the key.
Okay. So, Ari.
Yeah, I can just do the disengage action and hop over the burning tree. So I guess I'll just do the disengage action and then go back the way we came, hopping over the burning tree.
All right. Does your disengage still give you the attack of opportunity or no? Because it's your road.
It should, or it shouldn't give them that attack.
Okay. So you just
Yeah,
you use your 25 to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you take the disengage option, you don't provoke attack of opportunity for the rest of your for the rest of that turn.
I just wanted to double check it because it's been a while since I've been a rogue, so I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
All right. So you took your 25. You're heading back out towards the road. That gives us then to Kargath, since I wrote him in the wrong order last time. Sorry, my bad.
No worries.
What are you gonna do?
I am going to I'm going to take the disengage action as well.
Okay.
And move back 30 feet.
All right. What's your movement? Is it 25 or 30?
Mine's 30.
30? Okay. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that puts you right here near Karloff. So you guys are kind of right there at the trailhead.
Okay.
Or the opening to the trail.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
Tolkien?
Well, I guess since everybody else is backing off, I'll go ahead and do the same.
All right. And is your movement 25 or 30?
30.
Okay. 15, 20, 25, 30. All right. And Carla, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow as well. I want to. Is there fire kind of blocking the path?
Not yet. As long
Not
as you
yet.
go around the one tree that fell over.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I'll follow up the rear of the group for pretty much the same reason.
All right. So you guys all managed to disengage. The forest is now on fire. And so you're heading back. So you're heading back to like where the road forked.
Guys, we have this orb. This rat race is annoying. So clearly, if she's the one who's got these, who's responsible for the hoof prints, or her sisters, or whoever, why don't we just call her here and get answers? If she's the bartender let loose that these are the guardians of Santa, or it wasn't the bartender, it was the drunk elf last night let loose that these are these Amazonians or the protectors of Santa, and they're the ones that lost him. I think we need answers, and I don't trust that. Why are we being called in to clean up their mess?
All right,
you have a valid point. You do have.
So I want to pull out the orb without putting my hand on the bottom of it and just throw it into the air. Just grab the top of it.
All right. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll see what they're able to find out.
Metallic Dice Games. Since 2014, this family-owned business has been providing not just metallic dice sets for your favorite tabletop games, but also gemstone, acrylic, and glow-in-the-dark dice. In fact, a couple of players in tonight's game, as well as tonight's Dungeon Master, are using dice from Metallic Dice Games. Head on over to metallicdicegames.com. Use promo code GNN to receive 10% off your entire order site-wide. metallicdicegames.com. Ripped Apparel, selling unique, limited edition pop culture designs every day on t-shirts, hoodies, posters, and more. Each design lives for only 36 hours. Head on over to rippedapparel.com today, because the design you want may be gone tomorrow. Use promo code GNN10 for 10% off your order. rippedapparel.com. Geek News Now is proud to announce our partnership with HumbleBundle.com. Humble Bundle sells games, software, and other digital content, with a mission to support charity while providing awesome content to customers at great prices. With a pay-what-you-want flexible pricing plan, as well as charity contributions, you can get your favorite content at great prices and also do some good in this mixed-up world. Follow the link in the description to head over to our partnership site with Humble Bundle. All products purchased through our link benefit the Child's Play charity. Child's Play is a charitable organization that donates toys and games to children's hospitals worldwide. It was founded in 2003 by Mike Krahulik and Jerry Holkins, authors of the popular video game-related webcomic Penny Arcade. The charity is seen as a way to refute mainstream media's perception of gamers as violent and antisocial, having raised over $44.5 million since its inception. Follow the link to see what good we can all do together. Be sure to check out all of our content on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. Even check out our podcast happening over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and Podbean. And of course, head on over to our website at geeknewsnow.net for up-to-date articles, breaking news, and new content daily. Real geek news, no clickbait, no fluff. Geek News Now. Powered by fans.
All right, and so we are back. You've thrown the orb, and what you notice is as it reached the sky, it turned into almost like a guiding star. Like it looks almost like a compass, and it kind of pulses. And you've been there for a little bit. You knew it wouldn't necessarily be an immediate response because you'd have to travel from where she was. But you see her ride up on this giant black war horse, for a lack of a better term, to where you're at. And she notices the forest is on fire. So I'm going to assume that was you.
Yes.
Okay, well, we've sent a team of people to put it out. What have you found out?
That Santa is not here. That's about it.
And that we're doing your dirty work.
Oh, how do you... My dirty work.
Yeah.
Well, your
Guardian.
job is supposed to keep him safe, and you lost him.
Let's see, the very elves that you sent us to go talk to and possibly interrogate informed us that you're the one responsible for keeping Santa safe because of a passive comment we made that we might kill Santa in an effort to get answers. And they said, "Oh, good luck, because you and your 3 generations of your mothers behind you have said that, oh, you're the protectors of Santa, and you lost him. So we're doing your dirty work."
So let me
As he pulls a
enlighten
drink
you.
out of his robe and it's just
We are the protectors of the North Pole.
okay.
Part
So
of
we're
what we
still
protect.
doing your dirty work.
If you consider this dirty work, fine. I consider it teamwork because we have simply had to call in assistance to find him where we may not be able to find him, where people might talk to us where they won't talk. We'll talk to you where they will not talk to us.
I want to make a notice check. Are the hooves of the warhorse the same size, approximate spacing? Like, can I tell, looking at them, that this is the horse that we've been tracking this whole time?
Yeah, because the hoof prints of like this horse are just massive.
So they're consistent. Even if I can't identify exactly, they're consistent with what we've seen up to this point.
Right. It would be consistent with a horse of that size.
Okay. All right. Well, the problem is the elves weren't much help. That may partially be my fault.
If they won't talk to you, they won't talk to outsiders either.
And they're also not. They also don't really
talk to you.
Most of them also don't really seem to care whether or not Santa comes back. So that's also kind of a thing. And I set the trees on fire because they were attacking us. And so I made a way out after trapping us. So have fun with that. And I guess... I suppose, where does this other path lead? Before we go down it and get trapped and I have to set more of the forest on fire.
So, really quickly though, so you apparently made the locals mad.
Guilty.
You
They
then
were
lit
already
trees on fire,
They
which
were
then
drunk and
caused
mad
a
when we met
greater
them.
forest fire.
And you just see Ari kind of like close enough to be part of the conversation, but also kind of really close to the fire, just like warming her hands. Like sometimes going to get her butt warm, one of those.
I want to turn around and just cast Gust on the immediate fire next to us and just put it out. The immediate of what's immediately around us.
Because from where I'm standing and what you're telling me is that you're creating just as many problems as you are solving them.
We never said we were discreet on things.
Well, she did ask for discretion in the beginning.
No, she only asked Kargath that. She didn't ask us.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
She said that
Yes.
she wanted.
She only asked me for this.
Yeah, she only needs the paladin to be discreet.
I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna say that, sometimes you can't walk, you can't walk on broken glass without breaking glass.
Well, you want to toast a few marshmallows, you got to burn some wood. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Let's
Yes,
get the
exactly.
answer for.
So here's what I'm going to need you to do. Down this other path, and this may lead you to somewhere where you can get some more answers.
Oh, that's helpful.
I'm sure the elves in the village let you know that there are different levels of elves.
They did
So before
say something about that.
Before I set it on fire, where does the other one go?
So the other path will lead you to an area. It's more of a recreational area for some of these other elves. Now, when you approach them, think of them like teenagers. They're very young-minded. They require a lot of patience. They're rather vexing. They have a very difficult time focusing on anything. So you might have to speak slowly with them.
Or just have you set their butts on fire.
That's true. Yeah, setting things on fire. I am an arcane sorcerer.
So if you go down that path a ways, you're going to find a little side. I already call it a road. It's more of a path. And if you wander back there, you should find this other trove of elves who may know a little bit more information. Like I said, they're very teenager-like. They're always trying to get approval from people, unlike the little ones. The little ones they're little agents of chaos. They're fabulous, but they're little agents of chaos. The others like
elves
to be
we met
liked.
earlier were all of those children.
I mean, one of them was referred to as a grandfather.
Well,
There's
it's all relative. The one you may have been speaking with, it may have been Johnny. He is approximately 200, maybe 250. So that makes his granddaughter, I want to say she's around 120, 110. Their lives are very long. They live long lives.
Okay, so other path takes us to possible people that may possibly help us, that may or may not help us, because they're seeking approval that may or may not help us. Okay, cool. And
They may not seek your approval. They'll seek your friendship, but they seek the approval of Mrs. Claus.
okay,
So they might be more forthcoming than the little ones. The little ones, like I said, they're like toddlers.
should have transported us there first. All right, let's go.
Well, there wasn't a good place to transport you in the middle of the night, lest you be eaten by bears or wolves.
I see.
Anything else I can help you with?
Anyone else? I think I've ticked her off enough.
Nope.
I think our damage here is done. Our work here is done. So we could move on.
Okay.
All right, well, good luck.
One
And she turns the warhorse around and rides. She doesn't even take a trail. She just goes like up through the trees. Like
Flying horse.
I don't know about all of you, but I still don't feel like I have any answers. And I have this burning question that I just, I think I may have to ask Senna. And you see me kind of adjust my vest, and I pull a letter out, make sure it's still intact, and some of the edges are singed, and I shove it back in my jacket pocket. I have a letter I want to ask this Santa fellow if we're going to go through all this. And then I just kind of storm off and start walking down the other path.
Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and follow you. That whole exchange was kind of gibberish to me, so I'm just gonna follow whoever decides to take point.
I follow.
So you guys go down the trail, go down this fork in the road, and before long you see this little path. And path was an apt way to describe it, because it really just looks like a little path, like where you can tell a lot of people maybe go in and out of the woods through there. And so you're assuming that is the path that she was talking about.
Okay. Well, I guess we follow it. It's the only lead or information we have.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Yeah, let's head down the path since it's the only clue that we have left.
I still want to bring up the rear so I can kind of observe everything that's going on and make notes along the way without holding everyone up.
Who's leading in the front then?
I'll take up the front.
All right.
Oh, good thing you volunteered. I was going to volunteer the small one.
All right. So you two are kind of in the middle again
Yeah.
for Tulkin and Ari.
Yeah.
All right. Roll me an investigation check.
Dirty 20.
All right.
Is that for everyone?
Oh, not one.
13.
My face is too buried in the notes I'm taking.
At an 18.
All right. So Kargath can smells like food and maybe a bonfire. You're starting to kind of hear some things, like people talking and laughing. Ari, you can kind of smell some of the things, but you're not necessarily hearing the noises as much because you're a little bit further back. Yeah, Karloff is just buried in his book. Taka, what'd you roll?
13 is what I rolled.
Okay, so you can smell smoke, but you're not 100% sure if it's a new fire or the one you guys started. You can smell something though, and you think it's getting stronger the closer you're getting to it.
Guilty.
So you start walking, and now you all start to kind of hear some music, like drums, some singing, some laughter.
How are we close enough that we can see where it's coming from, or are we still just kind of approaching the noise?
Because the trees are so thick, you can't really see through the path, but you can tell that there's a group of people up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to.
May I stealth?
What's that?
May I stealth so that then the two orcs get everybody's attention, but they have no idea that I'm there.
Yeah, you can stealth.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have stealth.
Yeah. Well,
I want to kind of just stand kind of at the edge of the road and kind of in the tree, just kind of with my cloak on, not really stealth, but just kind of keep a watching distance, since I tend to be an intimidating view.
And then that's a 22 for my stealth.
So Kargath, are you just working it up, walking up the trail?
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue up the trail, do. Well, let's see where this goes. Let's see what the party is.
How about you? Are you gonna just kind of mosey up the trail, or are you gonna kind of do like the other two and take some cover?
I will go up the trail, but I'll kind of swerve off to the side a little bit so I can observe from a little bit of a distance.
All right. So you're starting to notice as you're walking up this trail, the trees are starting to become a little bit thinner. So you can start to see a little bit more. There's a large group of what appear to be very young, very blonde, very, very happy elves. But these are more like your high elf variety. So they're relatively tall. They're about as tall as most of you.
That's why they're so happy.
And they're dancing and they're singing and they've got food that they brought out for a big picnic. They've got drinks. And one of them turns and sees you.
I just set it all on fire.
Yeah. Oh my God! Hi, are you guys? Hi, friends.
Hello.
How
are you?
Hi. My name is Rebecca. What's your name?
I am Kargoth.
Everybody, I want you to meet our new friend Kargoth. And everyone responds back, "Hi, Kargoth. Are you lost out here in the woods?"
So I want to kind of approach, pull my hood down and everything and just kind of approach up while this is happening.
I wouldn't say lost, but we are looking for something.
Oh, I've never seen someone with skin like that before.
With the most
Are you okay? Does that hurt?
With the most intense gesture that I can over-articulate, I want to throw control flames and just make their bonfire just shoot up in flames for a moment and then die back down. But make it very obvious that I cast it.
Oh my god, that's like the coolest party trick.
And then just look at just look at just look at Rebecca and pull one of those.
Are you hungry? And
I just
so
gotta
about
look at
this time,
everyone
like
else.
other elves are coming over to greet you guys, and they're like, "Come, like sit by the fire," and "Oh, like you guys have been. How long have you been in the wood?" Like just overwhelming you with questions, and it's a little like you're getting this very relaxed vibe. Like they're very friendly, they're very welcoming. They're bringing you food. They're bringing you things to drink. They're like wanting you to take part in their music and their festivities. What do you guys do?
Well, I don't think that's what we're here for. I'm just gonna get right down to business and ask them about where in the hell is Santa Claus?
Well, who in the hell are you?
And then I just want to lean over. I want to pull out my letter that I keep kind of pulling out, checking on. I'll pull it, and I just want to lean and just say, I have a letter for Santa.
Oh my god, that's so awesome! Like,
but I need to give it to him in person. I need to give it to him in person. Can you help us? And just tuck it back away.
Unfortunately, he doesn't do his own mail. He has people for that.
And do these people take the mail to him directly?
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, there's like a big like mail room. Like they just take him like truckloads and baskets. It's like he's gonna get so overwhelmed, you know. I mean, I don't know what I would have to do if I had to read that much mail a day.
So if I sent this to him, who would I give it to have them take it to, Mr. Santa?
The mail elves?
And where would I find them? Are they here with you?
I mean, they work up there with the rest of us.
Oh, so you work up there too, up on the hill?
But we got all of our stuff done, so like since we got done early, we came down here to like have like relaxing time. Would you guys like some eggnog?
Egg what?
We make it ourselves.
What is this egg?
Not yes. What is this eggnog? That sounds disgusting.
I'm still hidden.
It is so good. It's not quite like hot chocolate. Like it's different. It's like cinnamony, and it has like we put just a little bit of rum in it just for a little bit of flavor. I really think you'd enjoy it.
I think one of them.
Relative to
we're all enjoying it.
Relative to human years, how old are these elves? Would you estimate it? I mean, if we're just visually looking at them, are they
visually looking at them? They look like a bunch of sorority girls, like so anywhere from 16 to 22.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, like, yeah, I mean, you guys should come, and like, obviously, you guys have been out here for a while, right? Because I mean, like, people don't just like transport here. You had to like take a really long trip on a boat, and then you had to like walk through the woods.
Okay, well, we didn't come on a boat, but I was wondering. It really is important that Santa gets this letter. Would you be able to point us in the direction? Just because we've been wandering through the woods and we just happened upon you. Would you be able to point us in the direction of possibly some male elves that I could give this letter to make sure it gets to Santa?
So how about this? Like, you hang out with us and like you have some food and have some eggnog, and then like we'll take you to them ourselves. Like, we can all go as a big group.
What time of day is it?
It's like early afternoon.
Early afternoon. Sun's
So
still
like
up.
1, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Does it? How? Can we tell how long? Can we tell how long they've been partying, quote unquote?
Not really.
Well, I just set all of their green stuff on fire, if you take my meaning. So who knows? Who knows how far in their party they are?
Yeah.
Well, when you said high elves, did you mean like high? Like,
I don't think she meant altitude.
like-
I'm just saying.
or like Snoop Dogg and Cheech and Chong kind of
Yes.
high.
Yeah.
See, I think I have a resistance to poison.
I don't know if that's a poison.
It's a type of
So,
poison.
I mean, come on, friends, drink. It'll help build your strength. So, because it's going to be a long walk back.
What would I redo?
Okay. Aries kind of had enough of this, and since nobody knows where the hell she is and she's up in a tree, gonna use like my magic daggers to pretty much throw them at going towards these elves,
I'm just making
But-
progress.
but kind of towards their feet more to like more as like an attention grabber than be than anything else. 'Cause the thing is with these daggers, when they hit something, then they disappear. So it's more like grabbing their attention.
So, let me get
Can't
this
say anything.
right.
I did
Like,
turn all the lights out in that pub.
so we brought you in. We were really nice to you guys, and now you guys have like someone in the trees trying to snipe us. So not cool.
Believe me, if she wanted to snipe you, you wouldn't be standing here. She's just impatient, is all.
And I'm telling you, like, you're gonna need your strength. You might want to eat and drink a little bit, and we'll take you to deliver your letter.
How far away am I from where Aries standing right now, or up in the tree? About how far away am I? Just guess it.
The tree line is probably about 50 feet back.
Okay. I want to get close enough within 30 feet and just look at the tree that the daggers came out of and just throw gust at the tree so that it knocks her down.
All right, roll an acrobatics check.
And with probably a minus. Oh, that's a +5. Never mind.
Ah,
15.
All right, so you feel it rattle a little, but you manage to maintain your balance. So what do you guys say? Like, let's hang out, let's sing some songs, have some eggnog. I mean, you know, Claus used to always have eggnog with us at the end of shift. It was fine.
I didn't come all this way just to hang out.
all right. Well, let's make a deal. We'll hang out. We'll all take a rest here with you. We'll call it a long rest for our purposes. In the agreement that first light, you personally, Rebecca, take me. And if they want to come, they can. But you take me because you can trust me. I do cool magic. You take me so I can deliver this letter to the elves so I can make sure Santa gets it. How's that? Deal?
Yeah, I mean, that's totally, exactly. We can totally do that.
Okay. Nobody piss them off.
I would
I
never.
say, kind of glancing at the tree that I shook earlier.
You get like a dagger at your feet too.
Would have been a lot.
So, like,
out of the tree.
like I said, they're high elves, so like, you know, very, very like peace and love. So like, you know, they're like making little like crowns out of hollyberry berry bushes. They're singing songs.
They're hippies.
They're passing around the eggnog. I'm gonna need y'all to roll constitution checks.
This is why I wanted nothing to do with these things.
18.
Wow, 2.
God,
19.
not one.
The Chieflings are always fine. We're always down to party.
Apparently. I mean, I'm a pirate. I'm
Kargat is always down after the party. Like,
And of course,
he's the guy you all are dragging out of there at the end of the night.
it's funny.
So like he's had this nog and he's just like, woo!
The skinnier ones of the group are able to hold their liquor better.
pirate. I have to be able to hold my liquor.
Everyone except for the orc paladin.
Of course.
So like you guys are drinking the eggnog. Y'all are except for Kargath. Kargath's getting a little happy there. Like
Got little wreaths
I'm just
in
gonna
it.
go Chris
he's-
Farley.
kind of. Like Kargath has had like a couple of these eggnogs. He's like, oh my god, you guys are like my best friends, right? Like, I don't do that, you guys. You guys are like best friends ever.
Okay.
So what you
So
guys do now, like I said, it's definitely it's definitely a festive time. Like
I'm holding on to
my
my promise. I'm trying to be kind of casual. I've got apparently sober. But I intend to hold on to my end of the bargain to spend time with them. But ultimately, I'm just waiting until first light. Whatever activity I need to do to reach first light.
All right.
I'm playing with my daggers.
I'm making the fire bigger. I'm making the fire smaller.
Changing his colors.
And like,
As
oh
the
my god,
paladin
that's
gets
so
really
cool.
drunk,
Do it
I
again.
push him
Can you make
down.
it change color?
Huh?
Like, oh my god, like can you make it different colors?
No, only my eyes, and then change the eye
Aw.
color. And
And be like, I can make it tell a story.
you can actually make it tell a story.
Yeah. I
So
got
the
that.
festivities have gone on through the night. Kargath wakes up hungover.
What the
Everyone's kind of like
heck?
mingling around, but the one thing you're all starting to notice is like while you were out there, like you were out and you were fully exposed to the wilderness, no tents, no sleeping bags, but it wasn't cold. Like you would expect it to be when there's snow on the ground.
Magic.
So like the next morning, everyone's kind of mingling around, everyone's having some breakfast. And you notice one of the elves taking a large plate of food and some drink off in another direction, away from the encampment, or the little clearing.
So who all notices it? Which of us notices this?
Probably the two sober ones.
Probably all of you but Kargath, because he might be puking his guts out.
Well, I look at
I'm just looking
Aerie.
around for the most greasiest food that I can find.
I just
Like,
look at Aerie and
food.
suggest that you follow them.
I will
I'm not stealthy.
I will stealthy follow.
I set things on fire. I am neither stealth nor subtle.
I will stealthily. Stealthily.
I'll stay back and keep up with Rebecca and whatever else is happening at the party.
That is a 19 for stealth.
All right, so you're being sneaky.
Oh yeah. Sneaky sneak.
All right, so roll me an invest. So you followed off with the ones you saw that kind of went off the other direction. Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. 4. So
All right. So you see
yeah.
nothing?
I see nothing. I'm just
Oh,
following
the
them.
desert.
Do any of the rest of you start to notice anything unusual happening inside the camp?
I mean,
Do we?
yeah, that's a good question. Do we?
My I mean, my passive perception is a 12, so
Okay.
casually just not really making an effort. Passively, I'm at a 12.
My passive is 15. So
Yeah.
So
If I'm
So
actively,
Cornlots is kind of noticing that there's like a small group that's kind of like whispering and getting things kind of like they seem to be like kind of in charge, but not really in charge. As in charge as any group of potentially like teenage type age girls would be. These are like, you know, the ones that are kind of like scheming, like the scheming ones.
the Rebecca that I spoke with the night before, is she in that group?
Yes.
Okay.
And there are about 4 other girls with her.
Okay. What do you guys want to do? Well, I mean, you're following sneak, dude. Kargath is eating, I assume, or
Yeah.
something. Right?
I'm attempting to sober up and eat some food and stay away from any beverages besides water at this point.
What's your what are you thinking they're talking?
Well, I think that I'm going to just casually walk up and ask what the plan is. I'm not going to ask them what they're talking about. I'm just going to ask what the plan is.
I want to kind of walk up with him as well, since at least one of them seems familiar with me directly. But I let him do the talking.
All right. So what's the game plan for today? What's our next move?
Okay, so like we're gonna have to clean up because of course we don't like whatever we bring in, we gotta take out, right? Then we need to make sure the fire's out because we don't want to start forest fires. And then we'll head on up to so you can go ahead and your friend can deliver his letter.
Okay. So I want to turn around and look at the fire and use control fire cantrip and just snuff it out completely down to where there's not even an ember. Just completely extinguish it for them to make it easier. Just make that.
Well, that's convenient.
Done.
Well, I guess it does look like only you can prevent forest fires.
Or cause them.
That's not what I heard.
Like, we didn't start the fire. It was already burning.
while the world was turning.
Okay, if that's your story.
That's our story, and we're sticking to
there
it.
Another one of you guys?
She's probably off in a tree somewhere.
Start shaking.
Trying to snipe us again?
Will fall out.
Well, depends on where you're leading us, I guess.
Yeah, depends on where you're leading us.
Well, can you like find her? Like, I don't want her to get lost out here. There's lots of really dangerous animals. That's why we always travel in groups. We don't even go to the bathroom by ourselves.
Can I see the direction she went?
I don't know. Did you?
Well, I mean, my passive perception. I'm the one who told her to follow.
Well,
but
yeah,
like,
you probably would have seen the direction she was going.
Did they? Are they like? Is she like completely out of sight? Like I don't see her off in a distance or anything.
Yeah, right now they're out of sight. You just know which direction they went.
Completely out of sight. I just turn back and look at Rebecca and the other girls and say, "Trust me, she'll turn up." For all I know, she may have had a bit too much last night herself. She has her ways of tracking us. It's not a problem.
Well, I hope she doesn't turn up in some bear scat.
It'd be a funny story if she does. She's a pirate. She can take care of herself.
Okay, so that now we need to like clean up all of our mess because we also of course don't want to leave any trash out here because then that of course attracts the bears and the wolves and all the other critters.
The bears.
The bears. But did you guys like get enough to eat?
Oh, I think Kargath could use a little more, but I think some of us have certainly had enough to drink.
Yeah. I could definitely use some more to eat. I think my stomach's starting to settle.
You can take it with you. Let's go.
Well, we need to wait for your friend, and we have to wait for a couple of our friends to come back because they had to go use the restroom.
Oh, I see.
Do lady things.
Well, I suppose I can wander off and see if I can find her. Maybe I'll start a big fire and let her know that she needs to come back. And I just walk away.
All right, so all right, you've been following this other elf that walked off into the woods.
Mhm.
Roll me an investigation check. What do you see?
And I don't actually follow her. I go just out of sight of the others, and I just stand there and just wait. Because I know she'll be back.
18.
Okay. So even though you're stealthing and you're staying back just enough to make sure you don't get detected, you see what looks like an ice hut, for lack of a better term. And you see her go into it, place a giant thing with like a giant like pitcher of this eggnog and this tray of food. And when she comes back out, it seems like there's some sort of like special like spell or locking mechanism that seals it.
Oh, we don't see this.
Yeah, it's just me.
No, because she's too far off in the woods. She's like a good 50 feet away.
Yeah.
In heavily wooded area.
I'm gonna wait until that little elf goes away and then try to go look at the lock.
All right. So she starts to head back into the woods, back towards the campment. Roll me an investigation check.
15.
So what you notice is there is no lock. There is no door handle. It's just a solid block of ice.
And then what happens if I try to do anything with my dagger?
It's like chipping away at ice.
And I'll probably still, in a stealthy fashion, go back to the camp. I can't open it by myself.
All right.
Okay.
So you make your way back to the camp. What do you do now?
You would see me on your way back. I've been kind of standing against like a tree where they can't see me. They think I've gone off, and I'm just waiting in the general direction you were. You would have seen me come back.
So pretty much on my way back, I would see him, and since we're both tieflings, we would both know Infernal. So I would tell him in Infernal that they've got someone locked away in some sort of like ice den I can't get in.
Okay.
What do you do with this knowledge?
The others are waiting for us back there. Kargath is still eating food in an attempt to sober up. Tolkien is waiting for me to return. Do you want me to go with you back to this ice thing? Do you want to get the others and go anyway?
Should probably get the others.
Get the others? Okay. Because they wouldn't leave without you. So they may have been suspicious of us being separated. So yeah, I guess return to the camp, return with her. I found her. She was admiring the tops of some of your trees.
Huh?
She was admiring the tops of some of your trees.
Oh,
Looking
I mean,
for
it's
her
pretty
own
nice out
breakfast.
here, right?
Looking for her own breakfast in the woods. But she's here now. And what languages does Kargath and Tolkien know?
Aside from common and orc.
Yeah.
I know Common, Halfling, and Orc.
I know Celestial, Common, Dalkir, and Orc.
Okay.
I think all
Give
of
me
us
one
just know common.
Give me one sec. No, that wouldn't work. Okay. All right. And walk over and grab Tolkien and look at the ladies and say, "We'll be right back. We're going to make sure all of our gear is ready to go." And I kind of grab Tolkien by the shoulder and turn him away and walk over to where Ari is and kind of walk towards Kargath, staying inside of them so they don't think that we're doing anything, but trying to create a small enough space that we can talk. And I just look at Ari and say, "Fill them in."
And then I would tell them this. I would tell them the same thing. That they've got someone.
So what do you want to do? What's the plan? Do we go with them? They're expecting us to go. Or do we go investigate this?
I would say go investigate. They might have Santa in there.
Investigate?
Yeah.
They might have
Yeah,
Santa, or they might have something worse. I mean, you could take food to a lot of things.
Yeah,
How
but
big was this structure that they went into? Did you see? How big was it that she saw? Like she would have been able to tell. I mean, big enough for an elf to go into, certainly.
I mean, if
Okay.
it's big enough for an elf to go into, then it's big enough to hide Santa. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have a conventional sounds like it doesn't have a conventional lock on it.
And
So-
they took a big platter of food and a big pitcher of eggnog.
Yeah, that could also be for a polar bear.
It could be for a polar bear, but they did say that Santa did come and drink eggnog with them.
The real question I have now is, do we call the barbarian woman, Amazonian chick? We only have one more use of the orb. Do we call her and inform her of this, or do we wait until we have something to report?
I would wait.
I say I vote that we wait, in because the way I look at it is it's like a flare, like a flare that you send up to like call in the cavalry if we need it. So like unless we're like in like dire straits where we're all
so
overwhelmed or something.
Wild concept. Just hear me out. The one that did all this is returned to the camp. Clearly has a way in and out. I'm voting on kidnapping and just making her open it. That, or I can attempt to burn it to the ground. But that might cause more problems than help.
I mean,
last
time we tried it.
I don't know how everyone else feels. I'm kind of down with forceful kidnapping.
I'm not down with forceful kidnapping, but if it's an ends to a means, then I can part with that.
It's literally kidnapping like some sort of teenager thing in order to try to find the guy that's a slave driver. Like,
right, like I said, I'm not down with kidnapping, but if it accomplishes our overall mission, then I will I may look the other way. If that makes any sense. Well, while this,
We're not from around here, so we'll get away with it.
It's true. We'll be gone before they can testify.
Yeah.
Fine.
it's
fine. So are we doing the kidnapping thing? I look at Eric. Can you spot which one it was that you saw?
sure.
Okay, she thinks she can. Let's hope you grab the right one. So, or we can just go check it out. What's the plan? How many elves are in camp? Like, how many are we talking about of the hippie elves?
They're in the total camp. They're probably about 25.
Yeah, well, we are outnumbered by a bunch of hippies.
So we may want to be careful with that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go the kidnapping plan. We are kind of outnumbered.
Unless we can isolate the one. But that's still gonna be kind of difficult.
Okay, well, first, why don't we go investigate the big block of ice and maybe see if we can maybe melt it to gain access, and if that doesn't work, then we'll use the kidnapping as our last resort.
Okay, that works for me.
That works for me.
Can we leave without being noticed? Do we all have to do a stealth check on that to see if we can
try?
Try. Is everybody looking at us right now as we're in this huddled circle?
Probably.
I want to look around. Everybody's kind of looking at us. Okay. Let's see something.
Now we have an orc and a half orc. How stealthy do you think we can be?
Yeah, and I'm in scale now, so yeah.
I'm
about as stealthy as a bull in a china shop.
How far am I from the edge of the tree line?
15 feet.
Okay, but I can see into the woods.
Yeah,
I can see in. I kind of look at the guys. I can teleport. I can go 30 feet line of sight. Problem is, it's gonna kind of let off a puff of smoke when I do it.
I'll tell them
about that time you hear. So I know you said you wanted to get that letter to Santa. We better get going.
Sure. Tell you what. Why don't what can you point me in the direction that we're going to be heading, just so I can kind of get my bearings of the area, make some notes. Fascinating stuff.
Well, I would hate for you to get lost, so why don't we all just get going?
And I look at Ari and I just say in Infernal, kidnap and vanish first chance you get if we go the other direction away from the hut. And
at this point in time, you start to realize that the other four that were in the little huddle with her have now kind of come around you guys, like, yeah, come on, guys, come on, we got to get going. It's getting late in the day.
Oh, are we surrounded?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently now, yeah. It's also entirely possible that they have a comprehend language, so they are elves of the North Pole. Okay. What do we do? I mean, I don't feel right killing them.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm chaotic, but I'm not gonna. They haven't actually provoked it yet.
I mean, you were in a really big hurry to get that letter delivered.
Yeah.
You should be ready to go now, right?
I pull out a letter that is similar to the one that they think I need delivered, and show it and say, yep, this is the one that I wanna take. All right, where?
Well, come on, let's go.
All right, and then what direction are they leading us?
They're moving you back to the direction of the path that led to the main road.
Taking us back to town.
So definitely.
All right. You know what? Oh, shoot. You know what? This isn't the one I thought it was. I think I left it back in camp. I'm going to go back and get it. And I just turn around and just walk out of the group and just walk right. I mean, I easily tower over them. I just want to walk just past them. And
how tall is your tiefling?
How tall are the elves? The tiefling
elves are like
2 feet.
So not only are they're high elves, but they're high elves. So they're like 6 foot.
Okay. Are
So
they
they're like
gonna block my path if I'm trying to go back towards where camp is?
they're not-
But well, here we don't want you to get lost. So, Rachel, Tammy, go with him.
I'm gonna Misty Step and just go 30 feet beyond, hit the ground, and take off running, and just start heading right back to where she saw the ice thing, and see if they follow. If they give chase, then they give chase.
Roll initiative.
Well, Misty Step would put me 30 feet away to cast that. So
15.
Nat 20.
Which gets you up to
Which gets me up to 21. But
17 total.
oh, okay then. Being attacked by a bunch of nuns with lightsabers. Got it.
24.
Sorry.
You'll have none of that.
All right. So Karloff got a nat 20.
Yeah, I got total of 21, but it was nat 20.
21. Okay. Did I hear somebody else had an 18?
What was that?
I had a 17.
17. Okay. All right. What'd you get?
24.
All right. And Tolkien.
15.
All right. So you are now surrounded by these 5 elves.
Wouldn't I be a fair distance away at this point?
Yeah, you would.
Pardon?
Wouldn't I be a fair distance away at this point? I used Misty Step before they initiated attack. Wouldn't I be a fair distance away at this point? Would I still be surrounded by them?
You may not be surrounded. Like you may have an opening behind you,
I see.
but they're circling around the group.
Oh, so like I've teleported away and they're coming in. I got you.
Yeah. So, all right. Ari, you get first attack.
All right. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm gonna move from camera angle, since I'm on the left, to the one that's on the left to attack.
That one?
Yeah,
Or that one?
the far left one.
That one. No, the
The one on the end.
that one.
Okay.
I like that. Can I keep it? May I keep it? I like the nat 20s.
All right. Roll for damage.
So 14, 15, 16. So 17 points.
All right. So it hits her. She's not too happy about it. Like, you drew some blood. But she's still standing.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I guess that'll be it.
All right. And Karloff, you had 21, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to move in to Ari's right side, facing those two.
Over here?
Yep.
Over
So to the right of her character. So yeah, there. Facing those two and doing burning hands and a cone to get them both.
All right. And how many points of damage is that?
That is so they have to make a dexterity saving throw to beat 13, and it's 3d6. On a failed save, it's 3d6.
All right.
9.
All right. First one passes.
Okay. 15
Second one
total.
rolls a 19 and passes.
Okay, so they take half. Yeah, that's 19. Or I'm sorry, that's not possible. That's 16. So half is 8. They take 8 points.
All right. And that takes us to Kargath.
Okay. They are definitely hostile towards us, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
combat's initiated. It's happening.
Okay. I'm going to the one that's in front of me. I'm going to yep, that one. I'm gonna go up and attack her with my great sword. Uh, 11.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. That is all my actions for that.
All right. So then we have this one here who is kind of a little slower to the fight. But you can see your sword over here. So for the record, these elves are druids.
Mm-hmm.
So she casts nature to summon 2 snowmen. And they just kind of like form up out of the ground. And that's her turn. Tolkien.
All right. I will approach the elf that summoned the snowmen and attack with my lance.
All right.
Wow. And my my roll to hit ended up being a 6.
A swing and a miss.
Yeah.
All right. This one here on the end, she goes ahead and she takes animal form and turns into a polar bear. And 13
Nope.
misses you, right?
Yeah, that's a miss.
All right, so yeah, like swipe with the pawn, just missed. This one here in the middle is up next. She summons 2 more snowmen. This one here goes ahead and takes animal form. And turns into a bear. And attacks. 8. Swing and a miss.
They're attacking me, Kara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the paw just swatted at you.
Yeah, that's a miss.
And the other one goes ahead and summons 2 more snowmen.
Oh, you gotta just take out the focus on taking out the druids. Snowmen don't matter.
And that brings us back to the top of the key. All right, what do you do?
I'm still gonna go after the polar bear that's in front of me.
All right.
Go through the throat. 22 to hit.
All right, it hits.
You're right there. That's 10 points.
All right.
And
All right.
bonus action, I'm gonna hold disengage.
All right. And how far back do you go?
I'm saying like I'm holding it so that if I need to book it, I can without.
Okay. All right.
That'll
All
end
right.
my
That
turn.
brings us to Kurloth.
Okay. I'm going to attack. If I do Burning Hands as a second level, it's 46. Can I hit? If I hit both of those druids, am I going to get the snowman as well in a 15-foot cone? Actually, I'm going to spend a sorcery point to double that and make that a 30-foot cone because I can do that, and that's fun. So use one of my sorcery.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to spend a sorcery point to cast Burning Hands as a second level. Same thing, 13 dex save against 46.
All right. All right, so this one fails the dex save. This one passes the dex save. And what was the dex again?
I'm sorry?
14? 14 was the dex?
13 is the dex.
13. Okay. This one fails. That one fails.
Okay.
So these two fail and they're done.
12 total points of damage. So the faileds take 12, the saves take 6.
Okay, so she takes 6. Okay. No, it would have killed them either way.
Okay.
Even at 6 points, it kills the snowman.
Okay.
All right.
And yeah, I'm gonna stay there.
Okay. All right, I now have Kurgath.
Okay, I am going to swing at the bear in front of me with my greatsword again. Nope. That's going to be 11.
Nope, doesn't hit him.
No.
All right, that brings us back to her. With her 2 snowmen move. So she's going to try and attack him. She's going to be swiping at Tolkien. Oh, yeah, she totally whiffs that. Like, she was, like, air swinging at you. No, she did nothing. They move up. 1, 2. This guy goes first. He's going to swing. 14, he misses. Other guy misses too. So you're good there. Then next we have Tolkien.
All right, I'll take another swing at the elf in front of me.
Okay.
That would be 15.
Yeah, she has an AC of 15, so it's a wash.
All right.
All right. Any other actions?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any other actions.
Okay. There you go. All right. Then that's going to bring us back over to the bear. 19.
That hits. Yeah, that hits.
All right.
Can I see the dang thing, please?
3.
Okay. And then as reaction, I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke.
All right, and what does that do?
As reaction, to being damaged by a creature within 60 feet of you that I can see, they need to make a dexterity save.
All right.
Dex save of 12. I'll take your 10. Or not. No, this is a 10.
I'm just pulling up his dex real quick.
You're right.
I gotta be a 10.
All right,
Okay.
so that is a fail. Takes 22 points of fire damage.
Whew.
It's 3d10s.
Ooh.
Takes that when you fail?
It's 3d10 for damage.
When you
So-
failed your dex save?
Yeah,
Okay.
it would take half if it had passed, but since it failed, it takes the 22 points.
Yeah.
Inherent spell for being a tiefling. You get it automatically. But it's reaction only.
Yep.
You can't just cast it. It's reaction only. And you have to take damage.
But
Okay,
still,
I'm
I
just
mean,
checking,
it's
it says that's a warlock only spell.
Infernal Legacy.
yeah, it's part of their racial features.
Okay, gotcha.
For the tiefling.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah, it's tiefling or warlock.
gotcha.
If you're a tiefling warlock, does it become extra powerful? Because I feel like it would be. I'm a
Or do
tiefling
you get it
sorcerer,
twice?
so it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, do you get it twice? Like,
All right.
Two-hand fighting, each hand casts it.
oh, ouch.
All right, so we are on to this one here.
The one in front of me.
She's
Okay.
going to go ahead and start by summoning 2 more snowmen. And then she's going to go ahead and try to strike you with her ice sword.
Okay.
And she fails with a 6.
Yep. Okay.
All right. We have her. She's going to go ahead and summon in 2 more. And that's going to end her turn.
I'm trying.
And everybody, at the top of the queue, Larry.
Top of the round. You're up.
All right, I'm just going to attack the polar bear again.
All right.
Is a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
As long as you're right there. Yes. What?
No, I'm just watching over your shoulder.
So that's 17 points of damage.
All right.
It's a heck of a polar bear.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll hold disengage.
All right.
I believe that's your turn, sir.
Yep. I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna aim for the 2. I'm gonna ignore the snowman. I'm gonna aim for the same two druids I've been aiming at. I'm gonna cast Burning Hands
Okay.
as a first level, so that's 3d6 with a dex save. So 3, 6, 11. With a 13 save.
All right. Okay, failed. The first one failed. Second one failed.
All right, 11 points.
All right.
You can also only use Hellish Rebuke once per long rest.
All
Oh,
right.
that's the other part. That's the other
Carla?
part to Hellish Rebuke. It's only once per long rest.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's it for me. I'm staying where I'm at.
All right, and Kargath, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to attack the bear in front of me, but also as a bonus
Okay.
action, I'm going to cast Divine Favor.
Mm.
And
Okay, what does
if
that one do?
So it gives me until the spell ends, your weapon attacks deal an extra 1d4 damage.
Okay.
So if I hit, I get to roll an extra 1d4, and it is a concentration spell, and it lasts up to 1 minute, so 10 rounds. So I'm going to attack the great sword. Ooh, 18, 22.
That should hit.
All right. So that's gonna hit.
So hit, and I'll need a d4 for extra damage. Okay. So 5, 8, 10 plus. So 14 points of damage total.
All right. All right, we're back over here to her really quick. She's gonna summon 2. And then she's gonna attack. 19.
Who's she attack? Which one?
She's attacking Tolkien.
Okay.
13 does not hit.
Nope.
Right. And just 1 second here, because her weapon is a 2d4. Six points.
It did 6 points to me.
And that's going to end her turn. And then it's Tolkien's turn.
Wait, that just did 6 points to me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I will try to attack again. Okay, that would be a 17.
And that's going to hit.
Oh, and for damage, I got 3.
All right.
Well, even a flesh wound's a wound.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, flesh wound is a wound, right? All right, so now we are back over here at this polar bear. Oh, wait a minute, her snowman didn't attack. Oh, well, my bad. They'll attack next time. We're back over here with this guy. 6, he swings and a miss. That brings us to her. 9, swing and a miss. But it lets them come in closer.
Fine, I'll set them all on fire.
Here, She's going to go ahead and summon 2 more. And these 2 are going to move forward. That ends her turn. And then the bear. Sorry, I almost forgot about the bear. He's going to be attacking Kargath. 8, swing and a miss.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're back up at the top of the key.
Right, you're up.
Still attack. Nat 20.
All right.
14. 18 points.
All right.
Ending this.
So that then is enough to knock her out of bear form back into druid form.
What are they take below a certain point? Maybe she's below that. All right. All right. I got a lot of things right there in front of me. So we're gonna do Burning Hands again and hit everything that I can.
Okay.
So again, 13 dex save against 3d6.
All right.
That's 13 points of damage.
All right. She fails. Snowman 1 fails. Snowman 2 passes.
So he still
All
takes
right.
6.
So how much damage did she take on the fail?
13 total, 6 on half.
Okay.
Because you round down, right? Yeah, you round down.
He still dies. And I didn't roll for her yet. Okay. She passes. And so she takes 6.
6.
All right.
Okay. I'm staying right where I'm at. I'm in a good spot to keep burning these things.
All right. And Kargath, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to keep wailing at that bear.
All right.
16.
That's going to hit.
Okay. So 2d6 plus 4. Uh, 8 points of damage.
All right. All right. She's going to go ahead and take another swing at Tolkien. 7, so she misses. But the snowmen share her initiative, so this guy's going to swing at Tolkien. 16.
That's a hit.
Does that hit?
Yep.
Yeah, your AC's 15. Okay, so that hits. 3 points. So Tolkien will take 3 points of damage there.
All right.
This one's going to take a swing at Korloff.
Okay.
5 swings and misses.
Oh, yeah. Not even close.
All right, then Tolkien, your turn.
All right. I will try to attack again. Let's see. That would be a 15 to hit.
That hits.
And a 9 for damage.
All right. One second here.
some level dice. I do.
All right. She's still up. All right, and is that the rest of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. So from there, we then have her there. She's going to try and attack. 7, she swings and misses.
That's right.
We're going to have her there. 2 swings and misses. She doesn't have anyone to attack, so she's just going to summon 2 more snowmen.
That's true.
So these two are going to move in.
Should just
On her initiative. Then I've got the bear that is going to go ahead and attack Kargath. 8.
Nope.
All right. You're back
Should
at the
be.
top of the key.
Reaches.
Still just attacking her. Oh, hey, another nat 20. Yay.
It is. I'm watching.
I might want those dice.
Well, they're the same aquamarine.
That's 15. 15 points.
15 points of damage. I'm going to reach into my cloak and I'm going to pull out the orb, hit the bottom of it, throw it up in the sky. Call for help.
All right.
We're 2 outnumbered and they're taking way too much damage.
Good call.
So,
Good call. Because I was about to suggest that here. Like, we may want to use our prayer and a hope button.
All right. And all right, what was the damage you did on the last one?
13 was what
13.
she...
Okay.
15.
Or 15. 15, sorry.
15. Okay.
I don't
All
down
right.
them root.
So you've tossed the orb. Are you doing any other actions?
Would that count as my movement?
Yes.
Or okay, then yeah, I'll still cast Burning Hands as a level 1.
Okay.
I've got 1 spell slot left to do it. So 3d against Dex save 13. 11 points of damage.
All right. She passes. The snowman nat 20 passes. She fails. So how much do your passes take?
Passes are halved at 5. If you failed, it's 11.
All right. All right. And now Kargath.
I'm going to attack again with the great sword.
All right.
14.
All right. That is. Let me just confirm. I believe that does hit. Yep, that hits.
That hits. Okay. So that will be.
All right.
Max. So 6, 12, 14 plus 4, 16 points of damage.
All right. All right. So She's gonna swing at Tolkien. 10 misses. Tolkien, you're hit.
All right. Nope. 6. That's a miss.
All right. So about this time, you start to hear a loud, like thunderous noise of horse hooves. And through that small path, down the road, you see a battalion of like 12 of these tall Amazons riding on these like black war horses. What is going on here? They ride up, they circle around. At that point, all of the snowmen just disappear from the field. Since they were all just constructs, they all just disappear. And they've encircled all of you. What is the meaning of this?
And I just gesture and go,
They attacked first.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point at them and like they attacked us. We were minding our own business, and they attacked us. So ask them.
so
And why exactly did you attack them?
I look for the one that we saw walk off earlier and say, Ari followed this one into the woods, found an ice hut. And upon returning, we tried to go that way. They stopped us and attacked us to prevent us from going that. They tried to lead us in a direction back to the town.
Show me this hut.
Then I'll lead her that way.
Yeah. And I walk backwards with her, kind of facing everyone, making sure that nobody gets any crazy ideas.
I'll go with them. You keep the others here. So she's taking you guys back into this. She's following you into where you saw this hut. And you arrive at the hut, and like you said, it was this strange, weird, ice just kind of structure. It didn't necessarily have, like, you didn't see anything that looked like a door or like a cell or anything of that nature. It was just kind of there. And so, with that, she approaches the door with you, and now tell me, what did you see when you got here?
That's you.
I just saw the elf.
I see a block of ice. What did you see?
It looked like a hut. That one elf had a platter of food and a pitcher of their eggnog. She went inside, left the food and the pitcher, and came back out.
All right.
And then when I tried to get in,
she
I
goes
could
up and
not.
starts examining it.
I'm gonna
She's
walk up
looking
to
at
it.
it very closely, looking for any kind of marking, so to speak, that would indicate that there was like an entrance or a doorway. And she's looking around at it, and she's like, oh, I know what this is. She uses like a whistle type device that she has around her neck. And the door just kind of pushes open. And as the door comes open, you see that it is very much a cabin of sorts. And there is Santa Claus asleep on this bed. There are plates of food, there are pitchers of eggnog, and he basically just kind of looks like he's just kind of passed out. Like no harm has come to him. He's fine. She goes in, she just kind of nudges his foot. Santa! Oh, Santa! And he kind of starts to stir a little bit. And he looks up. Do you know where you are? I just went to bed. I just went to bed. No, sir, you've been missing for several days now. Do you know what day it is?
I was about to ask that same question.
It's the 15th. No, sir. It's the 23rd. We need to get you back up to the house. And we'll sort the rest of this out later. So the five of you escort him, and Elsa goes with you back to the main group, and he's groggy and kind of wobbling and definitely like kind of like he's drunk. And so she passes him off to one of the others, and she goes over and she's like,
I'm gonna do lay hands on Santa.
okay.
So I will expend.
That make somebody sober?
So actually, technically, yes.
Technically, you're right.
Because alternately you can spend 5 points from your pool of healing to cure a target of one disease or neutralize one poison affecting it.
All right.
Alcoholism is toxicity in the strictest sense.
So alcohol can be considered a poison. So
liver toxicity.
Yep. So I will lay hands on him to cure him of any, at least try to cure him, like if he's drunk from eggnog, I will try and cure him of his alcohol toxicity.
All right. So that kind of sobers him up, and he kind of realizes, like, what am I doing in the woods? Like, why am I not at home? Just take me home, and we'll figure it out later. And so they get him up onto one of the horses with one of the Frostmaiden, and they start taking him back towards the big building. Now, do the rest of you care to tell us exactly what happened here? Well, I mean, it's just not fair. He works so hard, he never gets any time off, and he was just kind of feeling kind of down about it. And we were talking about it, and he sat down and started drinking some eggnog, and we're like, if you don't like doing it, like, why are you doing it? You don't have to go back. No one's making you. And he agreed. So we just kept him drunk as long as he agreed. That way he can rest. We're going to deal with you momentarily.
So I'm going to walk up to...
So take them back, secure them. We'll deal with them in our way.
I'm going to walk up to Elsa at this point and just kind of tap on the elbow.
Since we've done our part,
Reward?
Yeah.
We found him. We found him. It's cold.
So with that, when you go
And
back
we
to
didn't kill
town,
him.
there will be a reward waiting for you in each of your rooms. With that, I've also given them instruction to give you enough of the teleportation ingredients to get back to Faerun. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. You will be well rewarded for this. And we will deal with their trickery today. It's almost after the holidays. We've got plenty of time to deal with them. So, once again, so sorry to have inconvenienced you with their trickery and their treachery. I do greatly and deeply apologize. But we do definitely appreciate it, and you will find that you have been well rewarded. And in order to keep you from having to walk back down that long, long road, if you'll come here for one moment, it will be a very quick trip. Hopefully it won't be as bad as it was for you two larger gentlemen earlier. Any questions before I send you on your way?
Yes, I would suggest that you keep those elves away from giving people eggnog. It seems to have a bad effect on people.
Oh, they got you, didn't they? Well, I'm sorry. We have a slightly stronger constitution up here in the cold.
I don't think you're sorry, but
yeah, they got me too, but luckily I'm just a little bit tougher.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for your assistance. We do truly appreciate it. With that, she takes just a pocketful of what looks like snow, blows it over your heads, and next thing you know, you're back at the inn in the little village for the small elves. As she mentioned, she left a reward for each of you in each of your rooms. You go up to your rooms. There is 100 gold waiting for each of you in a pouch. And there's a box for each of you that says, do not open until after you've returned home. And with that, we will find out what your tasks are when we go to do our next adventure.
I look at the others.
So everybody who tuned in to watch this, I really want to thank you so very much for joining us today and joining us tonight. Like I said, we will find out what special items they were rewarded with in our next adventure. We know this one ran a little bit long, but of course, with it being the holidays, of course, there was just a lot of ground to cover. Once again, of course, we will still have the donations open. I believe they're open for the rest of the night. Is that correct?
Open until midnight Eastern time.
Actually open until like 5.
Oh, is it 5?
All right.
It's open until like dawn tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance to get over there, hop on over there and donate and help us raise those funds for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. With that, Karloff, is there anything else you needed to talk about before we end the stream tonight?
No, I think everything's taken care of. The Tiltify link is in the description of various places. It's been in the chat all night. So I want to thank everybody who's helped out and been a part of that. And thanks, Kat, for DMing tonight and everybody who played. And thanks to our fill-in player, our normal player who plays Kargath, came down ill, so we wish him well. And we want to thank our friend BB there, who jumped in and played with us tonight. And Cam, always good to see you. And from all of us here at Geek News Now, I just want to say thanks for being a part of what we do.
Well, thank you all for letting me join in. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. It was good to have you.
I had a joke. I'd never found a good spot to work in. What that letter actually says. So that letter actually says something. The letter he carries around as part of his because he's a sorcerer, as part of the sage class. He carries a letter that was passed to him from a deceased friend that has a question that he can never seem to answer. He was going to show it to Santa or somebody and see if he could find an answer that just simply said, when you read the letter, it read, "If you've read this, I have passed on. I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty." What's a car? What's a warranty?
We do not understand these things.
What are these things?
That, or I figure would have just having the number 42 and a question mark.
And it just drives him mad.
right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a great night.
See you guys.
All right. Bye.